Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judgmo. Inter versus Barcelona tonight. Of course, the big game, of course. Inter to add a 4-star if they win against Barcelona, because Inter are winning against either PSG or Arsenal if they go to the final, of course. What is wrong with Chez? Chelsea win a game. Lavia's back. He is the beating heart of Chelsea, even though Caicedo won player of the season because Lavia is not fit enough to start the season. But Chelsea are on course to finish 4th or 5th or something like this. Is Maresca proving people wrong? Are Chelsea good now? Are they going to have a better season than other if they win the Conference League? Of course, there's a lot of people now that are talking about they're going to have a good season. They're going to finish higher than last season with Pochettino. Were we all wrong about Enzo Maresca? This is what we're going to talk about. Chelsea win. Nottingham Forest. I wish that Wolfie was here because they're bottling it fucking big time, bro. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. I've never seen a team to bottle it. Like, this is even worse than the Arsenal bottle job that they did when they were 4th and Conte got the 5th. This is the biggest bottle job I've seen in top 5. Nottingham Forest cannot win a game to save their lives, of course. Arsenal do or die tomorrow against PSG. A lot of people are saying Arteta out if he doesn't win against PSG, which is absolutely astonishing to talk about that before they even play PSG. And the main talking point, has Trent made the right choice to go to Real Madrid, leaving Liverpool on a winning note while going to Real Madrid where they need a rebuild? Liverpool are winning. They're going to have a massive summer as people. Yeah, Liverpool, as Arne Slot have said, has he made the wrong choice? Of course, we'll talk about it as well. But we got, of course, Don Husam. Dave is back in his normal setup. Of course, Ashraf is here. And Chez is back with us after Chelsea win, as Husam was accusing him of only showing up when Chelsea win. But listen, it is what it is. Hit that like button, people, if you're here. Subscribe to the channel. You can tell that I'm nervous. If you're new, of course, let's get to 100 likes right off the bat. Over 100 people joined us, and we're just starting the show. Where should we start? I actually want to start with the Chelsea thing. Is that all right with everyone to start with Chelsea? Or is it, or was Trent making the right choice? Which one? Chelsea. What did you make of these last games, to be honest? Is he turning it around, Enzo Maresca? Do you...
Well, David, I'm assuming you're meaning since the Fulham win, not the Ipswich game, obviously. But what was the question? Is he turning it around in terms of what?
No, but I'm going to tell you what the problem. You were 13th in the form table, I think, from game week 15 to game week 34. This is fact. I'm not saying that. Like, I looked yesterday with Dan on the form. You were 13th, by the way. And now you're winning back-to-back games against the odds. I didn't predict you win against Fulham. I didn't predict that you're going to... I said that you're going to win against Everton. I never predicted you winning against Liverpool. But yes, Liverpool were on the beach. But Chelsea put in a good performance. Palmer had a good performance. Lavia, Enzo Fernandez was proving us all wrong, in my opinion. He's hit 20 GA in the league, guys. If I'm not mistaken, 20 GA.
Yeah.
Like Odegaard's best season was 22 GA for Arsenal, by the way. I'm just letting people know that.
I think
why are you doing when Husam does this face? I'm kind of like, why do you do this face? Why like
I can't even smile. Fucking hell. خلاص بدي اعطيك بوز هسه من هون لاخر الستريم.
Do it. Be upset. You Trent left and you're smiling. Go ahead, Shez. I'm sorry. Apologies.
No, I was going to say on Enzo Fernandez. I think he's in the league. He's got 6 goals and 7 assists. And
in the league, not all competitions, 20 GA.
Yeah, but that's very good for league regardless, right? And he doesn't take our
set pieces, corners, set pieces. He doesn't
take our set pieces. I don't think he takes any corners. I don't think he does. No, he does. He takes one side of the corner and then Cole Palmer takes the other one. But yeah, man, it's a good return for him. I think he's had a good season. When I said he was top 5 centre mids in one of our chats, I think top 6 chat, people look at me. Like,
you think he's top? You think he's top 5 centre mids in the league this season at least?
I think saying this season is a bit too far. If I'm being objective, I think
even in general he's not. Chaz.
Nah, I think
top 5 in the league.
I think since January, yeah, I would say top 5.
I thought he started
since January. I won't argue. Since January, I won't argue. But
I wasn't going to say full season because he wasn't performing this high of a level from like day 1, and even day 3. I'll probably say from about when we had the injuries. I asked David, when we had the injuries, he still performed at a good level. When the injuries have come back, even despite the poor form since January, I can still say Enzo's performed at a high level, despite the fact Chelsea weren't picking up wins. Because that's where his stats of being he's created the most big chances out of any player in the league, or whatever it is, 32, whatever it is. I've gone up by now.
He's created the most chances from a midfield because Salah has created the most chances in the league.
Oh yeah, I think midfielder, right?
From the midfield.
Yeah, from midfield, right? But anyway, that proves he's elite at that aspect of the game. And he's been doing that.
I think I got it. To be honest with you, Shez, me and you have been speaking for about 2 years about Enzo Fernandez. I think this season I have seen what Chelsea were talking about Enzo, the vision, the late runs to the 18. You know that these late runs to the 18 is a sign of a good midfielder that can read when the cross is coming, when the cutback is coming. We've watched him against Liverpool. He has actually proved a lot of people wrong. And there's no shame of me saying that people prove me wrong, right? Sometimes. And Enzo Fernandez is one of these people that when I'm watching him now, me and Don have been going back and forth about his defensive attributes. And now Don is opening my eyes to like another set of things that he does. He runs around.
Anytime Don is opening your eyes, you need to question yourself.
Why?
Because
like genuinely, Enzo Fernandez have created chances this season, have scored goals, have had assists. By the way, he played with Cole Palmer, who doesn't contribute defensively. He's not the quickest guy on the pitch, Enzo Fernandez, but he's using his attributes better than a lot of other midfielders in the league. Like, I think that Enzo Fernandez, for me this season, has been levels above Odegaard, for example. Like, levels above Odegaard this season.
I think midfielders have that spot of bar.
I think for Chelsea, apart from the big two, I think he's probably been our 3rd best player in terms of, well, maybe Cucurella as well, but he's definitely in the top 5.
I think Cucurella.
Yeah, like in the between Caicedo's been
between
1 in terms of consistency. Caicedo's 1, Palmer's 2, Cucurella's 3.
But I think Enzo has been the most consistent guy. Okay, there is a difference. Cucurella has been very consistent, right? But Cucurella is not like great. Very consistent. Like, you know what you're getting every game from Cucurella. 7 out of 10, a 6 out of 5. Like, Enzo Fernandez, I think, as a high-level player, he has been one of the most consistent players at Chelsea this season, maybe second behind Caicedo, because Caicedo has given you a lot of good games this season. Enzo Fernandez as well, we're really sleeping on his ability now. Like, we haven't seen that side of Enzo since he moved to Chelsea. And now, I actually think that Chelsea need another 10. Or an 8 that is like a McAllister.
Hey, Mo, don't worry. We've got 2 coming.
Who are the 2 coming?
Listen.
We got stores.
Chelsea's model, which I've been backing since day 1. And now people are starting to see a few shoots. Then I'll say, oh, I'm not Mo, am I talking about you? The shoe fits, it fits, right? Or I might have to change my mind on X, Y, or Z. I think I'm going to hear a lot of this over the next year. That's what, David. That's what I'm feeling. I feel like over the next year,
No.
I'm going to get a lot of Ches. I see what you've done, or Davis.
But I still think that Maresca. I actually think that Chelsea can go in the summer, even if they make Champions League, and find a better manager than Maresca in the market, like a Javi Hernandez,
Yeah,
or
but this
something
goes
like this.
against the
I think
argument
you should
why-
get him.
No, but Mo, I don't like this argument because it goes against why a lot of people like yourself would say Poch shouldn't have gone for continuity purposes. So if you improve,
But I don't think you have improved massively over last season.
No, but now
There
guys,
are-
you can't keep moving the goalposts. If you'd said Chelsea, let's just say we don't know the end of the season yet, so I'm not going to overglaze what's happened so far.
Yeah.
We might lose our next 3 games and not make it. So there we go.
You're not going to lose the
But
next
let's
3
just say
games and
we-
not make it.
You get my point though. If let's say we make top 4 and we get Conference League, that's an objective hit for both targets.
Yes. But I
So-
still think that
But
there are
then
a
you
lot
would
of
still say, "Oh, you can still improve."
So
But
you
who's
wouldn't
saying-
want a better manager to come to Chelsea if there is
That's not
one
what I'm
available.
arguing. That's not what I argued, though, is it? I'm arguing that even though there might be better managers out there, if he wins a trophy and gets Champions League football and improves the team, which metric you want to use for improvement, it's up to you. I wouldn't want to get rid of that.
That
if
was
you win
expected,
along the
though,
way.
no?
Sorry?
That was expected. You were expected to get top 4 and win the Conference League.
That's my point, but...
Oh, no.
No.
Let's
Sam
not
changed-
do that.
No,
Let's
David,
not do that.
it changed. It did change.
No,
The objectives did
Not do
change.
what?
We're not doing that. No. This is one thing I would not stand for. At the start of the season, so many people were like, "You man ain't even finishing in the top 6."
I don't care about so
Yeah,
many
no,
people. Mo literally said top 4.
He's the
But
only
he's
one.
you.
He's the only one. He's the only
But,
one.
like,
No,
there's
he's
like-
not the
no,
only
no,
one.
no,
Many
no,
people
no.
predicted Chelsea in top 4. He ain't the only one.
Don't
Hey,
lie. Don't lie.
He's not the only one. And also, you're the same people
lie.
that say
This is a
as
lie.
season.
You're being disingenuous. You're being very disingenuous.
You were
This is-
2
this-
points
this-
behind.
Ashraf,
You were
Actually,
2
don't
points
lie.
behind
Chime
Liverpool.
in here. A lot of rivals that Chelsea finished out top 4. Let's not revise history. I've got the receipts on my phone. Let's not do this.
I didn't think you guys will finish
And
top
also-
4, but I did think you'll win the Conference League, but not top 4.
I'm talking about top 4.
And also, let's Ches,
Yeah.
Ches,
I
let's
thought
not
you would not
forget-
finish top 4.
Ches, let's not forget 5 games ago it was impossible. Let's not forget that 5 games
So
ago
you
it was
see, this is what
impossible.
I'm waiting for.
Yeah, but that is against the
Mo-
odds, though. It was right to say that.
No, Mo,
Hey,
for you.
Mo,
For you it was.
Mo,
For you.
Mo,
Not for
Mo,
me.
when I was here 3 weeks ago saying we're gonna beat Fulham, we're gonna beat Everton, we could get a draw against Newcastle. I said we draw against Newcastle. You all looked at me and said you're crazy. What's wrong with you? Now suddenly, you're gonna win all your next 3 games. This is what the thing that annoys me when it
I
comes
don't
to
think
people
you'll win
reviewing
your next 3
Chelsea
games.
is that no matter what is going on at my club, no, you guys can't just keep perspective and keep it level. With me, no matter what's happened this season, I've
Because
always
you
kept
haven't
the
been
same-
consistent, Dave.
the same
Because you haven't
level.
been consistent. Because you haven't been consistent.
No. But I'm just
But you
saying.
haven't
I'm
been.
just saying. If you're gonna flip from this side and say, "Oh, we're gonna finish in the top 4," and then halfway through the season, it's like you've got 0 chance to look at your form, then stay on that side. But then if we switch it around, you can't then come back and be like, "Oh, actually, I was right the whole time." No, you change your opinion. Like I'm saying, I just want people to just be honest and be level-headed because I think that's fair. When it comes, even if we
I
win
feel like
our
when it
next 3
comes-
games, if we lose our next 3 games, my opinion of our season doesn't change. I think we've improved, regardless of what happens. I don't like end result
Yeah,
for
so-
me right now.
Hold on. You think if you don't make top 5, you have improved?
100%
Based on what metric?
based on the fact that our defense is better. Look at the players in the team. Kukurea is better. Enzo Fernandez has been better. Caicedo has been better. Noni Madueke's been better.
But you have better players
that's
and you're
just all.
supposed to be better. So
Again,
you don't
do we?
think, okay,
Because
you don't think that if
Because
you
when
continue at
Maresca
this
when
team,
Maresca came in,
you don't. Yeah.
when Maresca came in initially and quieted the noise, he had a whole job to do at Chelsea. Because remember, we had 50 players in the changing rooms. This guy's had for me, he's had a great season. As for his first season of management at this club, I think he's had a great season, regardless of what's going on. There's a pattern of play, there's a style, there's a clear plan. I can see what we're doing. And again, when you look at teams that have possession-based football, look at Pep's first season. Pep won 4 leagues in a row, but in his first season, he finished 4th playing possession-based football. It doesn't, as I've been telling people, when the players are learning the system, it's not linear. Shit happens, as Cole Palmer said. Shit happens, bro. sometimes things don't go the way you want them to go. But I'm looking at what I'm looking at on the field of play, I'd much rather watch Chelsea this season than watch Chelsea last season.
And David,
no,
I'm going to speak for Mo's point. Yeah, he's going to say something on the lines of, the fact you were so high this season proves your team can perform at that level. So Mo's opinion would be to change the manager to get that higher level consistency. But the issue with that logic is then, Mo, that means you rate our squad to be title challenging whatever then, yeah?
Not title challenging, but up there. I am the only one who said that when Chelsea were second, I said Chelsea are not in a title race, and people said they are, because I said that Chelsea don't have the experience enough to go.
That's a lie. You said they're in it until they're no longer.
Okay, hold on. No. I am the only one. People in the chat can attest to this. I am the one who said Chelsea need to add experience to be able to sustain it. I don't call teams that are second or third in a title race unless I believe they have a chance of winning the title. This is why I said only 3 teams that had a chance of winning the title this season are Man City, Arsenal, and Liverpool. Even when Chelsea were second, I said you don't have enough experience in the team for you to go and win the title. That's why I wouldn't say that you are in a title race. Being in a title race means you have a chance. I never believed that you had a chance of winning the title, even though you were second. But you could have stayed, like, for example, I'm going to give you an example. Nottingham Forest were third for the majority of the season. Is that correct? But none of us said they are in a title race. Why? Because I don't believe they have any chance. They had any chance of winning the title. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah, that makes sense for this season. But
I wanted to see, for example, I wanted to see Chelsea be consistent, for example, in third, fourth, second, third, like around that, like Nottingham Forest, for example.
It's just the manager.
I think it's the manager, because he showed me that the players can perform.
I think that's very disingenuous, because you would...
How?
Because your arguments, if we're going with your arguments, would you not use the same logic applied for the signings you made, saying they're young players, they're going to have dips in form, it's also on them, the experience they have individually, that's not Maresca's fault.
But wasn't Pochettino consistent at the end of last season?
The end of the season.
End of last season. Wasn't Pochettino consistent?
We're talking about a whole season.
But that is when the players gain the experience. I'm going to explain to you.
We can't do that.
I'm going to explain to you, Shes. But I'm going to explain to you. The players gained experience throughout last season in the beginning. At the end of the season, Pochettino were third on the table in terms of point tally at the end of the season. Maresca started this season, you hit highs, right? With Maresca, and you were second, you were 1 game away from being top ahead of Liverpool if you beat Everton. You didn't. And then a couple of games later, the dip in form happened. So maybe that honeymoon phase that he had from Pochettino's reign has ended. And now again, he's trying to figure out the right way to play. So for me, if you have a better manager, I'm going to give you an example. You don't think that a coach like Hansi Flick, and by the way, Chelsea are known to get top manager in the history. Chelsea are known to get top managers that hit the ground running from the first season. By the way, imagine if Chelsea had Hansi Flick at the beginning of the season. I'm going to ask you, imagine if Chelsea had Javi Hernandez in the beginning of the season. Imagine if Chelsea had someone with experience like Inzaghi from Inter. Don't you think that Chelsea would have been way more consistent than the Chelsea that we have seen this season?
I mean, maybe, but the squad's not built to do that just yet. I think regardless of who the manager is, there'd be highs and lows in the squad because the squad is so young, regardless of who's in charge.
I'm not looking at that 4-month period and going, yeah, manager 100%, like not even 100%. I think it's a bit lazy to go, yeah, manager's fault, happened at Leicester. That's not managers that get heard. I get told it happened at Leicester, it's happened at Chelsea, it's the same thing, it's on him. I think that's a bit lazy. I think the players, they weren't stepping up. Palmer, for example, a key component of our team, didn't step up. Lavia was injured. A lot of players we expected to perform better, like Jackson, didn't score for 8 games. I'm not really looking at the same way as if, for example, the team wasn't performing as well and the manager didn't change things and cool. But it was also the players as well. I'm not going to blame just the manager on that.
Let me give Ashraf a mistake on this. Let me get Ashraf. Imagine if Chelsea in the season, Ashraf, and Maresca is next season the manager. I want you to tell me a realistic target for them. And imagine if Chelsea sack Maresca and get an experienced manager that is a winner that won before. What is the realistic expectation? Give me the 2 scenarios.
Win the league.
Which one?
Not win the league for me.
Win the league.
Which one is win the league? Which scenario is win the league?
Oh, if they had a better manager, not now.
So with Endo Maresca next season, the target is still Champions League football.
Yeah, bro. Chelsea needs stability. Chelsea have been shit under this Bowley ownership, so they just need a bit of stability. Up, down, up, down, up, down. They can't go finish 8th, 9th again because it just ruins their plans. You know, even if they want to get there, they have to get there step by step. I think with Chelsea, they have to change the way they operate this summer. I think this very most important thing is, before even manager or players, is change operations this summer. You know, Chelsea fans protested a day later, they signed Quenda, so they're clearly listening to the protests. But I think it's important this summer to get a bit of experience in there. To get a couple of...
You guys called Maresca a yes man, and he's literally come out in the media and said, I want more experienced players if I want to compete with Liverpool. So
yeah, that does not make him
like
not a yes man, by the way.
Yeah, but this is the same man that one week said that Champions League is a target, and the next week he said that Champions League is not a target. Is that the same manager that said that, Dave, to the media? So now you're believing him whenever it suits you? Or
again. But when I said to you guys the exact same thing when he said, "Oh, it's not a target," or when it is a target.
But the week after, the week after, he said it's a target.
Yeah. Maresca is the definition of a yes man. If you get mad at that, that's
he's just a yes man. So whether he agrees with the board or disagrees with the board, he's a yes man regardless.
Okay. Let me ask you something for real.
Yes, because he cannot dictate or change the way the board act in any way, shape, or form because he doesn't have credit in the bank. He is not that guy. They can get rid of him tomorrow if they want to. Easily replaceable. By the way, I keep
being yes man isn't
you keep referring to this yes man thing like it's an insult. Slot is a yes man, by the way. Why are you acting like it's
taking that? If they want to call him a yes man and we do well with him.
Yeah, Slot is a yes man. You know, he's a coach, not a manager. That's why Slot last summer he wanted a defensive midfielder. He didn't get one. So yes, he's a yes man.
I want to take this.
A manager who's not a yes man is like Conte. You know, that's not a yes man. If you don't get me what I want, I leave. That ain't no yes man. This is unacceptable. This owner, 20 years, we win nothing. That is not a yes man. You get me? That's someone who's rebellious. But Maresca is just happy to be there. By the way, just so you know, Maresca was the manager of Parma and Leicester, with all due respect. Don't act like Maresca was out here managing big clubs and shit. Like, he managed Parma and Leicester. So he's happy to be there. Think about us as YouTubers, you know? Like, when you first go on a big channel. Think about it, honestly. Like, the first ever time you went on the football terrace. First ever time. You know, we were just like, oh, shit, this channel has 300,000 subscribers. Like, you know? You're a bit nervous and shit, you know. You thank you for having me, Terry, and blah blah blah. Now I arrive late to the football terrace shows. You get me? I'm not even on time for it anymore. You get me? I raise Terry's blood pressure. So things get different when you're experienced, and that's my thing. Like, I don't think Maresca is a problem that he's a yes man, but he is one. The reason why that becomes a problem for Maresca, not about Maresca, is this summer will get like messed up for Chelsea. In terms of like, you know, just sign the kids again and shit like that. Even if he says he wants experience, let's say if it actually affects your transfer window.
Can I ask you guys for real? How do we rate this Chelsea team? Because Ashraf said, I don't think they're gonna win the title. You don't think that Caicedo's one of the best players now in the league? Cole Palmer can hit last season's highs. They have Pedro Neto. They have Reece James. They have Cucurella, right? They are willing to add a start. Do we rate this Chelsea squad? They have Lavia as well. Do we rate this Chelsea squad?
I rate this team.
What level?
We hadn't. I'll tell you to what level. We had an argument, if you remember, a month or 2 months ago about like which team is more equipped to go and challenge soon, them or Newcastle. And I said Chelsea. And look, to answer like your previous question about assuming they don't make Champions League football, what's the aim? For me, it's the same logic I've applied with other clubs as well. I think if you're not progressing, I think that's, especially after like one whole season, I think that for me has to be on the manager. And I know David is saying they have improved this season, and I guess if they make Champions League football, of course, you can never argue about that. But if they do lose 2 of their next 3 games, Forest away and Newcastle away, which is very, very probable.
Yeah, they have to finish the job. Ashraf's cooking.
Exactly, they have to finish the job. If they lose to Forest and Newcastle, then this conversation is pointless. Even if they beat United, then I would probably say they stagnated from last season, which I don't think is good enough. But in terms of their squad, yes, I do think their squad is from a starting 11 team, I would say they are 3 players away from having a good team, good enough to challenge for the league, if the manager is the right manager for them.
I don't know. Do people think that this Chelsea team, for example, is just 3 players away from challenging for the title, as we said earlier this season, or we change our mind?
No, they're 2 years away.
What does that mean, 2 years away? You can just bypass 2 years. You literally did it. That's Chelsea Football Club.
There's not enough experience in the squad. This isn't John Terry, Frank Lampard, Ashley Cole. This is not them. This is a different Chelsea. So
we're saying challenge, David, not win. Arsenal challenged 2 seasons ago.
Yeah,
young squad
and for me, and I don't define challenge by you're near the top, so you're challenging. No.
No, you're in a title race till the last week.
I'm talking,
2-3 weeks.
no. I'm talking analytically. You're actually meant to be there. If you're just losing every game analytically, but you're winning games, it's not sustainable. I don't believe you're going to win a league title anytime soon. I'm talking about being serious.
David, if you guys sign a world-class striker and 2 quality centre backs, to be honest, you also need a keeper. But let's assume you don't use Robert Sanchez. You use another keeper that you guys have from the 20
That's
million.
his best keeper is that striker.
Do you not? Yeah, fair. So whoever they get, you don't think you should be in a position to challenge next season? I'm not saying win it, because I think you're. I agree with Ches. I think you should be if you guys make the signings.
For me, if you're going to challenge, you've got to be within touching distance of first, and analytically, you've actually got to be a good footballer.
How do we compare? Okay, so the title challenges next season will be City, Liverpool, and Arsenal. How close is this Chelsea team to Arsenal, for example?
Oh,
is it close?
Depends on the transfer.
Is it close? Okay, so Arsenal are looking into a striker and a midfielder. Chelsea are looking into a striker and a centre back and a goalkeeper. Basically, it's
no. Looking position is not the same as getting a certain player.
They are targeting Osimhen. They are targeting Osimhen. They are targeting a centre back. Hoysen is a great centre back.
Honestly,
they're targeting a goal.
David, who would you say? Would you say Arsenal have? How many seasons of Arsenal title challenge for you then? Because you regard it as realistic chance of winning numbers wise. So
once or twice.
So once or twice.
Yeah, once or twice.
I would assume then, if we did sign 2 experienced centre backs and a top class striker, that we might not be challenging, but you'd expect us to be on par or better than Arsenal, no?
I'd expect us to be. I'd expect us to be
using that logic. We could do what they've done the last 2 years, no?
No, I'd expect us to be close to that top 3. I still think the top 3 is the top 3, but I'd expect us to be very, very close.
So can I tell you the issue?
I disagree with that.
I'll tell you the problem with Chelsea.
High level than that.
Let me tell you the problem with Chelsea. You have to cope with European football next year. If you get Champions League, you see it's right now you're in a lose-lose scenario to an extent in terms of winning the league next season. Because number one, you either have to do Champions League football midweek, which means now you cannot rest like Palmer, blah, 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 like you did in the group stages of the conference against Noah and shit. There is no Noah in the Champions League. You have to beat them all. And the second thing is, there's an even worse case scenario is if you get to Europa League, because now you're doing Thursday nights again, which will affect your league performances. It's been well documented. Teams who have Europa League, it affects their league performances. I think it's very important for Chelsea to get top 4 football, but in order for them to contend, they've got to get experience. I think you have to get experience. I think you got to get the likes of Osimhen, sign someone like Maignan in goal, players like that. No more developmental project of Quenda and shit like that. I just don't think that helps Chelsea right now.
Do you think, Husam, Chelsea can surpass Arsenal if they sign these players?
Can they? Yes, they can. It's possible. Why not?
I've realized the whole point.
So 1 second, because Mo's asking a question like it's impossible. So I give you a scenario, all from your league.
I don't think it's impossible.
I'll give you a scenario from your own league, yeah, from Serie A. Okay. Let's say tomorrow, they sign Osimhen. Hello, they sign an experienced centre back. Let's just use, for the sake of this example, Bastoni. Let's just use him. So let's say they sign Bastoni, Osimhen, and Maignan. That's already 15 points better off, 10 points better off, just from those 3 players alone. What's wrong with that?
But if you're asking, are they gonna overtake Arsenal? You have to also apply the same equation on Arsenal. If Arsenal get Gyökeres and a quality left winger, then we still keep that gap between them.
Yeah, but then even if you get Gyökeres and they get Osimhen, it becomes a game of which transfer is more successful. If Osimhen scores more goals, Gyökeres scores more goals, we don't know. That's the thing.
Because
but
realistically, Chelsea
Chelsea actually, I don't know if
created
this
more
is
chances
right.
than Arsenal.
No, I think you said more chances, right?
They created more chances.
Yeah.
Like against Chelsea, the creativity from the midfield is worlds apart between the two teams. By the way, the two teams. Apart from Saka, Chelsea, Arsenal do not contribute as much.
Congrats, Staffy, man. Congrats. I told you. Don't ever disrespect the Knicks. Anyway,
I don't know what is going on, but fine.
the Knicks beat the Celtics yesterday.
Who cares? I stopped watching NBA for like years now. It's dead.
Wow.
It's dead, bro. It's after Nowitzki and these guys, it's dead. Basically.
Nowitzki?
Like,
that far away?
Yes.
Are you serious? No, NBA has been good. Relax, bro. It's not been dead. Come on.
Yeah, it's not
That's
dead
ridiculous. Look at the
Thank
fact
God
that there's
Warriors
different
did
winners
that.
in the last few years. Not
Didn't
a
we
single
have
team has done back
didn't
to
we
back.
have didn't we
the
have
Warriors.
back-to-back seasons where LeBron James faced Steph Curry and his team in the final? That is a dead.
Habibi, that's ages ago. Oh my,
That's like fucking 8 years ago, Mo.
Are you okay? This been
Habibi,
there's
when
not been a
KD went to the
single-
Warriors, I was
Let it
still at
slide.
uni.
Mo thinks you could just say something like that and just let it slide. And everyone was like,
Yeah, but seriously,
No,
after
no,
this
no.
is dead.
There's not been back-to-back winners since the Warriors did that three-peat or whatever. Like, bruh, it's
Your
not,
own
there's not
mods
been
are
back-to-back
calling
Bro,
you
winners.
when Kawhi Leonard was the superstar of the league, you know the league is dead.
He
Well,
wasn't
he's
the
not the
superstar.
superstar of the league.
He had one season where he was considered close
That
to
is the
LeBron,
season where I'm
and that,
like, this
and that
is dead.
became dead the next season. The next
was
season that
dead.
became a dead argument.
The
bro, when he would
superstar
join
of the league for the
Clippers.
last 7 years has been Steph. And then Jokic,
Steph Curry again.
Giannis, Antetokounmpo.
No, Jokic, Doncic for
Doncic
sure.
as well to an extent. You know. That's
Oh,
it.
I live in America and I'm
Giannis.
telling you, NBA is
Giannis.
dead. I'm telling you,
not
يا
nobody
حبيبي
goes to
خلاص
pub.
يعني you live in America, all your opinions ما عاد يا
Nobody
حبيبي
goes
Staffy
to
lives
pubs.
in America and he has shit
No
football opinions. شو
one
نعمل
goes
لك
to
يعني؟
pubs. No one goes to pubs to watch
عادي
NBA.
Don
anymore.
lives in
Anyway,
the
can we go
UK
back?
and his football opinions are dead.
Can we go back to the football then? Regarding Arsenal though,
يا حبيبي ما هو
Today-
انت don't ask me about Chelsea and then in the summer tell me oh Chelsea are gonna sign fucking Delap. Are they gonna get
No,
close
they-
to Arsenal?
That's why I
Yeah,
said it depends on who
So
they
so
sign.
give me scenarios. يعني tell me are they signing Osimhen? Are they
they're signing
experience?
Osimhen, they're signing Kobel from Dortmund. These are the players they're looking
Okay,
at.
but if they sign Delap, they're not gonna get closer to Arsenal. They're not. Kez and David will tell you this by themselves.
Why are Chelsea targeting Delap though? I don't get
I
it.
don't know about that
It's
one.
not-
I
it's
don't
not
know
a
about
bad
that
option,
one.
mate.
Bro,
It's not
he's
a bad
literally
option.
one of Chelsea's
Delap's a
main
good
targets.
profile we need, man. He's a good
Jackson
profile.
Hughes.
To harsh.
I think if
I'm
Chelsea
just
get
really
Delap,
pleased
they still get another striker, by the way. I genuinely think if Chelsea
I-
get
Yeah,
Delap,
Habibi,
they get
that's
another
not what
striker.
I'm saying. Who's the starting striker for Chelsea next season? Who
It's
should
going to be an
be?
experienced striker. It's going to be an
Who?
experienced
Ma,
striker.
that's the point. If the starter is Delap, then it's a problem.
What if they get Gyökeres? What if Chelsea make Champions League?
I just told you experience is good. I just told you.
I-
Gyökeres is
what if-
experience.
What if they get Gyökeres and Delap?
Yeah, then that's double good.
That won't be
Okay.
happening. That won't be happening.
Why not? You
Why
selling
won't it be
Kunku for
happening?
30,
It
40,
can
why
They
not?
won't get both. They won't get both.
You could sell
they'll
Nkunku,
replace-
by the way. You're
they'll
looking to
replace
offloading
Christopher
Nkunku.
Nkunku with that'll be the Santos replacement, maybe that position. Does that make
Who?
sense? They'd rather get a winger with Esteval coming than get another false nine second striker.
You have Neto, Madueke, Sancho, Estevao, and then you get two strikers. That is good, very good attack.
We're not getting two
Esteval
strikers.
hype.
We'll get one striker.
I think we should get two strikers if we get
We
them.
should get two. We only get one. We only get one. I'm telling you.
Yeah, 100%. 100% should get two strikers. I want to moving on to Arsenal, to be honest, with the PSG game and all the stuff. There's a lot of Arteta outers now again. They surfaced over the last week after Bournemouth. Anybody here think that they can turn it around against PSG first?
Yes.
Yeah, they can. Why? This is see.
Everyone
this is what I
keeps
mean,
thinking
man.
that out. It's so silly.
Why are
When
you
they
so?
win tomorrow,
These man beat
everyone
Real
will be
Madrid
like,
and
"Oh, I
suddenly they
never
can't.
expected it."
They
What
beat
do you
Real
mean? I
Madrid
don't
and
get what
suddenly
you
they
guys
can't-
say.
And suddenly they can't beat Leicester. what's going on? Like,
Leicester.
no, they can do this. What is this joke? No, what I'm talking about is that like the way Arsenal fans go is like you beat Real Madrid. Oh, we're the guys. You lose one game. Oh, get them out. Like what? Like just relieve. You know what I mean? Like your fans annoy me so. Like we talked about this last week. Arsenal fans annoy me on so many levels. Like so many levels. How come 1 week you say you're the best team in the world, and then the week after you lose one game? Oh, we're cuts. Get the manager out. What? What are you doing? You're in a semi-final and you're 1-0 down. Believe. Just have a bit of belief. That's what I'm asking.
Can we before we do this, let me just ask this. Nasser here, thank you, Nasser, for the super chat on the channel. Why is Ashraf acting like Arsenal is miles off Chelsea? What gap? They will finish 1 to 3 points behind Max, if not ahead.
Okay, for starters, you're not finishing ahead of us no matter what happens. I don't know where you're getting that delusion from. Secondly, I said if you guys get Osimhen and quality centre backs, but we also do our business and get Gyökeres and get a left winger and a 10 or a backup 10 or whatever it is, assuming one area is going to be playing right wing or backup right wing, we still maintain that gap. Right now, today, with no transfers, there is a gap between us. So why are you acting stupid? You're having, according to David and a lot of Chelsea fans, a progressive season. We're having an off season. Nobody thinks this is going to be Arsenal.
But you're assuming that they want.
Well, hold on. No one said Chelsea had a great season though. It's been good.
Chelsea had a horrific season as well.
I didn't say good. I said I didn't say good. I said
we've been medium and you've been low. We've both.
I said no, David. Sorry, Shez, you're not hearing me. I said you guys have had a progressive season.
No, they haven't.
If I think if they lose 2 of the next 3
they're
games,
almost 13th for half the league.
Yeah,
13th
what
Yes,
does
yes.
that even mean? That doesn't mean.
I
that
know,
you've
but
gone
last
from-
season their first half was worse than what the middle of this. Anyways, it depends on how they finish the season, so we'll have to wait. But my point is, right now, today, there is a gap between Arsenal and Chelsea. Can you guys bridge that? Yes, that's what I'm saying. It depends on the transfer window. But if we do our job and you do your job, I still think there'll be a gap between us. Then I think it'll take a year or two for you guys to reach our level. And I still think you guys should challenge next season if you guys get the players you need to get. So I'm not shying away from that.
So Ashraf, just to be clear, what is your level? Because something you just said.
I think our level is a team that can challenge for the league. I obviously we've fallen short the last 3 seasons, especially the last 2 seasons. But I still think we're up there.
People like David thinking you haven't actually really title challenged because you've not really been there.
I disagree with that. I don't understand how that works.
I've said they've been there once or twice.
You said once. They've been like 3 title challenges.
I think we've been there 2.5 challenges. If you consider this a half challenge, let's say.
This year was not a challenge. This year was not a challenge.
No.
Yeah, then 2. Then we've been there for 2 challenges. You can't say 1. I mean, how could you say 1 when literally game week 34, 35 of the last 2 seasons were in the title race? Like, I don't agree with that. I know what David is saying, that the expectancy wasn't there, blah, blah, blah. I understand that. But it's not the same for me. And to add to his point, because he sent another super chat, Mo, if you want to bring that up. He said 4 points is a gap now. Nasser, okay, let me read it out first before I don't disrespect it. 4 points is a gap now. What's going on here? Last point, if Chelsea gets CL next year, Arsenal will be in pot 2. Chelsea will be in pot 1. That's the gap. Nasser, if you watch football and you have any sort of common sense about context, you will know some of the points we dropped in the last month has been because we just didn't take the Premier League seriously. I don't like that, by the way. And I've said it many times before Real Madrid and after Real Madrid. We should start with a lot of our main players. We need to get momentum because it'll help us in the Champions League. But the team hasn't played it as seriously. You cannot think that this 10 points or 8 points gap that was between us just a couple of weeks ago has diminished now because you guys picked it up and we have shown our true colors. It's not the case.
By the way,
we've only won 3 games. It's like you picked it up.
Sorry, we drew. We drew against Brentford, against Everton,
Yeah,
against.
only won 3 games in a row. So that we've been doing.
Yeah, and we drew all the last 3 games. We only beat Ipswich. Sorry,
and that's only because you're in Champions League, playing Champions League final games.
Yeah, which again, I'm not a fan of that.
Before the Champions League, you had the most draws in the league.
Yeah, but we were still 10 points ahead of you, or 8. I can't remember how much it was, to be honest, at the time.
And that's why I'm
8 or
saying
9
we've
or
had a poor season. That's my point.
Yeah, but so have we, Chez. So have we.
And the gap is 4 points. That's the whole point.
That's literally my point.
Guys,
making my point.
No. Okay. Let me rephrase this.
Ashraf is going to say injuries now.
Let's
Yeah,
say
yeah,
we were
yeah,
up.
what are you
No,
doing?
I
What
don't do
are
that.
you
You know I don't do that. You know I don't do that.
Hold on.
Because they
Let
had
me say
Jackson
it.
injured.
Exactly. We were
Let
And
me
they
Jackson.
say
had
something.
Lavia injured. They had Lavia injured for the majority of the
Guys.
season. They had Jackson injured.
By the way, Lavia
Let's
can
say
hold
we
that.
got
That guy say
knocked
they
out.
can hold that.
You're far
If
better
we
than
were
Chelsea.
knocked-
That's what I want to know.
If we
I
were
don't know
knocked
that.
out by Real Madrid, I guarantee you we beat Bournemouth. I guarantee you we beat
can't
Everton.
guarantee that,
I
though, can
guarantee
we?
we beat.
Can't guarantee
No,
that.
it is because you can see the difference in our playing
You drew
style
against
post
Brighton at
Real
home.
Madrid.
You drew against Brighton at home, no? How can you guarantee you'd beat Brentford at home?
Yes, we drew against Brighton at home, but we won many other games that kept the gap between us. What's
Then
the point?
Bournemouth
You
beat you
lost
away
to
as
Brighton,
well.
so now what?
Bournemouth beat-
What are we doing
Bournemouth
here?
beat you away with first team, no? Or am I
Yeah, it
bugging
was
out?
after a red card, but it was after a red card. I mean, the red card was like in the 30th
You
minute.
can't
or
just
something
say
like that.
things like, "Oh, I guarantee you." If Lavia was fit, I
Shez,
guarantee
I'm
you'd
not
be top
picking.
three.
I'm not. But I didn't say injuries, did I? I didn't bring injuries. I'm literally saying up until 2-3 weeks ago, we had. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. It was almost a 10 points gap or 8. It was either 8 or 10. I can't remember. And we only saw everyone who's watching us can tell with common sense we've been dropping points in the last 2-3 games because the team has been focusing more on the Champions League. Am I okay with that? No. And I've said it before, and people criticize me saying, why would you want your full team starting? Just put all your eggs in the Champions League basket. And I don't give a shit about that because I'm saying we need to finish second comfortably. I think that momentum helps in the Champions League as well. But it's obvious to see this last game against Bournemouth. Again, it's shit from our players and shit from our manager. But players are barely going in for tackles, scared of getting injuries, not tackling correctly, not defending well, not putting in that kind of energy. It's not something that we've seen even when we drop points early in the season to Brighton, to you guys, to Newcastle. You would at least see the players try. We just didn't know how to break teams down because of the manager, in my opinion.
That only happened in the last game. Before that, you were trying to win. Don't tell me you weren't trying to win.
Yes, against Everton, we were trying, which is why we started players like Sterling. Against Brentford, we started. I think Sterling also started against. No, Sterling started against Brentford, and then correct me if I'm wrong.
Arteta
Against
said
Everton.
over my dead body though.
Yeah,
So
I
you're
mean, he
thinking
said a
that-
lot of BS.
I want to get this.
He said
So
a
there's
lot
a
of BS.
massive gap. So you think there's a massive gap between Arsenal? Okay, there's a big gap between
I did not
Arsenal.
once did use the word massive ever.
Okay,
between
big
us and
gap.
Chelsea.
Is there a gap? The word is gap. We all know what you mean.
I think, yeah,
He
no,
said
gap
his
doesn't
level.
mean
I
massive.
still don't know what
There's
his
a
level is.
massive
That's
gap.
the question.
There's a massive gap between us and Bournemouth or us and Spurs. Actually, between us and Spurs, the season is more
Chelsea
than
are
massive.
not Bournemouth.
Exactly, which is why I said it's not massive, but there is a gap for sure. People are making it seem like, oh, if they go get Osimhen and 2 quality defenders, they're right there with Arsenal. Correct, assuming Arsenal do nothing. But if Arsenal also do their job and get a striker and get a left winger and all that stuff, the gap still stays.
Which you would expect with a team with the same manager and 800 million plus spent. But that's another discussion, I guess.
The 800 million
What?
is obviously such a... Even the 800 million is the most ridiculous argument people
I'm being
use
a bit
because
facetious because that gets thrown at Chelsea.
you are, obviously.
Yeah, obviously, I'm being sarcastic because
Yeah.
Chelsea get thrown the 1.5 billion and no one wants to hear context ever. So I'm not going to apply it to you. Does that make sense? But let's get to this answer, Ashraf. What is your level?
I answered it already. You asked me a
I
question.
don't think you
I
said it
answered
fully. You just said
He
something
said
like
title
child
challenging
challenging.
for league. Said title challenging for league.
Is that it? Is that all your level is? Child challenging for league.
Well,
Well, you can't
I
really-
mean, the
can't-
only thing,
can't
the
really-
only thing above that is winning trophies, which we haven't done yet. So I
That's
cannot
my
say we're
point.
there.
Oh, you get my okay. That's my point.
They should have won more, and I'm sure Ashraf would say they should have won.
I
Yeah,
agree.
that's my point.
100%.
So I don't want to hear about your level because that doesn't mean anything. That challenge.
Nobody said you should aim to reach Arsenal's level. You should aim to reach City's level.
When you say
We
the
all
guy
should
said in the
aim to
super
reach
chat,
City's
But
level.
can I want to present an argument here to everyone.
Why that guy and other guys in the chat?
I want to present
The
an
wording
argument.
made it sound like your level was like clear.
I want to.
No.
Yes.
The super
Yes.
chat mentioned.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
stop.
No,
Stop.
Ashraf,
Use
you
context
did it.
correctly.
The way you said it, made it sound
Read the
very
super
like-
chat. Read the super chat. He said, what gap? 4 points only. So he didn't take context into account. Nobody said aim for Arsenal. You shouldn't be aiming for us. You should be aiming for City. Not you, him, I'm saying. You should be aiming for City. That's what we should be aiming for.
Can
Not
I
City
ask
this season,
you?
obviously.
Can I ask everyone on the panel
City
a
of
real
last
question?
year.
Everyone in the chat. We are assuming that Arsenal players will always improve, right? Will always improve. What we are seeing from Chelsea is that there is not one player that have what is the opposite of improve?
Regressed.
Regress.
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 Right?
No, stagnated.
Caicedo have improved. Enzo has improved. The only one that has regressed is Cole Palmer, but he's still putting out the GA.
He's
Yeah,
not.
he's regressed.
Yeah.
Hold on,
whoa,
hold on.
whoa,
Let me
yeah.
You're gonna get that.
No,
You're gonna
you
get
can't just say that and just
Lie.
move on. He hasn't regressed.
Damn,
You're
big
gonna
on,
get
big
my
on, rattle.
point when I finish. Don't get triggered. You're gonna get my point when I
It's not
finish.
about being triggered.
Okay, you're gonna
It's
get
not
my
about being
point.
triggered.
I thought Korea has a little bit improved, right? I think Lavia, when he's fit, he's
I thought he
improved,
was
right? My point about this is we are assuming that all the Arsenal players will improve, right? Like the likes of all of them. But we have seen this season that the likes Declan Rice have a little bit declined a little bit, especially in the league. Not in the Champions League, in the league. He has declined a little bit. Odegaard has declined in terms of creativity because the manager uses him different massively. But the difference is when Palmer declines, he still has 20 GA. When Odegaard declines, he's anonymous in terms of GA, contributing to your attack. You get my point. Kai Havertz has declined a little bit, right? The other players have improved. Lewis Kelly is good.
Kai
I think
Havertz.
Timber's good. Kai Havertz is dead. Let's just establish this, right?
Yeah, but Mo, I don't know why you're doing this. So I can also start naming Timber will definitely keep improving. Raya as a keeper will keep improving. Skelly's only 17, he'll keep improving. Waneri is going to improve massively over the next 5-6 years. Saka will keep improving. He's showing that numbers every single year. Odegaard is having an off season. Everyone knows he's not 35 plus, so he probably can get back. Declan Rice is not 35 plus. He can easily get back to last season's form, and that's
good
more than enough. He
argument.
doesn't need to improve on that. Like there's so many things that can also improve in our team, because just like Chelsea, a lot of our starters are also young. And I haven't even named Gabriel, who's 27, and center backs can go up to 32, 33 at a very high level. And I've not even brought up Saliba because I'm assuming he'll leave to Madrid in 2 seasons. So we have a lot of players who can also improve and get us to where we need to get. So that doesn't only apply to Chelsea.
But I think the team with Chelsea, okay, here's the thing. If they keep Maresca, I'm not a big believer in Maresca, but I'm just assuming that because of stability, right, the progression from Chelsea will be higher than Arsenal. Does that make sense? Arteta has tried. As also a system, David. Like, to be honest, Arteta has tried offensive brand of football, defensive brand of football, a little bit pragmatic brand of football. He has kind of presented all his meals to the table. Maresca, I'm not a believer.
I think that's wrong.
From a Chelsea point of view, Maresca still has, she has explained, and David has explained this many, many times, that if we keep Maresca for another season, they are expecting him to progress. The system will improve. Will Arteta's system improve? That is the question. And what is the evidence that he will improve?
I think he just needs to get back to what he did 2 seasons ago. I mean, yes, he had Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus and all, who at that time did a very good job for us. If we do get the players that we're rumored to get, if Berta is the kind of sporting director people say he is, I just need to make sure that Arteta goes back to just simply coaching, simply getting the players to play the way we played 2 seasons ago with better players.
But that's what you want. Do you think he's going to do this?
I think if Berta fully takes over and Arteta only focuses on the coaching, I think, yes, it probably will happen. Will it still be good enough to win the league or not? I don't know, because I do have my doubts on Arteta if he's not able to get us over the line this season, or at least progress us this season.
I'm going to tell you something. It's not only next season. Within the next 3 years, the problem is, how do you think Enzo Maresca has a deadline? But Arteta has a threshold. He has...
but deadline
as a team,
deadline for whom? Deadline for whom? Deadline for whom? For the fans or for the people who make the decisions?
Okay, but you think if Arteta doesn't win the league next season, he's going to say season after?
Unfortunately, yes. Because if he challenges next season, they will not want to pull the plug. I'm telling you, they will only pull the plug if it gets either too toxic, which is what happened with Emery, and they said enough, or if he regresses and gets us out of Champions League football. I think obviously if it goes like 3, 4, 5 years where we're regressing, that's different. Even if we are making top 4, but if we just challenge next season a little bit,
okay. If they get Arsenal the striker next season, let me get Chesed and David. If they get Arsenal the striker next season and they get him a left wing or whatever, right? And he doesn't win, do we think he can improve from there? This is it. Khalas, this is it. You really had your defenders for 3 seasons. You had everyone for 3 seasons. You're not going to improve from there. If you don't win the league the next season, if you get a striker, what is he going to, like, even if they keep him, you think he's going to improve the season after? Khalas, it's over.
Once, like, there's only so good somebody can get. He's not
exactly.
He's not Pep Guardiola. He's not, and I think we can
Even
all
Pep
agree.
Guardiola has so much he can get.
No. But again, when Pep levels off, Pep's leveling off at 97, 98 points. I don't think Arteta's that guy. I don't. I think if we average it out, Arteta's probably about as an average at his best, he's probably about 87, 88 at his absolute best. There might be a season where he springs up and gets 94, 95, but I'd call that more.
He did 89 last season, but anyways, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, but again, I felt last season and the season before was the best two Arsenals we've seen. Those are the best two Arsenals we've seen.
For me, I think Arsenal will win the league next season if you get a striker on and a left wing.
How much better can you actually get? Because I feel like you are getting to that point of you reach the peak and now you're kind of leveling off. How good does this get? And that's where
fair point.
We get any money.
But I think if he doesn't make it past PSG this semi-final, I think that itself for me will say that he's not going to ever win a major with us. I hope I'm wrong, and this summer will show me a lot. But I don't, because I just feel if you're going on an upward trajectory, which has been the case over the last few years, and you suddenly stagnate, plateau, or just start regressing, I think mentally as a coach, it's harder to overcome that. And by the way, I also disagree more. Like, I used to think that way as well, that it's good for a manager to be super flexible. He has this style of football, that style of football. He can play. I actually think it's a bad thing, because when I think about the best managers who've won the leagues over the last 10, 15 years, they haven't had that. They've had their style of football, home and away, they play that way. Whether it's Conte, whether it's Klopp, whether it's Pep Guardiola. I understand switching up in a game or two. Yes, because those are exceptional cases. I don't understand having 2 or 3 different styles that you use, like 33% here, 25% here, 40% here. I think that in itself, A, causes confusion within the players, because it doesn't allow the players to perfect any sort of style. And B, it allows the manager to have so many options in his head that he doesn't know which one to approach with at times. We've seen the evidence of that when he approached Newcastle and Bournemouth and Brighton the same way he approached some of the big teams this season. A little bit conservative, not committing enough people forward, which is okay against some of the big teams. And his results clearly speak for themselves, because he's been very good against the big six in the last 2 seasons. But it doesn't work against some of the smaller or mid-table teams. I think if he's more like Klopp or Pep and he says, this is my damn style, this is how I'm playing. And unlike Spurs, I have good enough players to impose the style on most teams. I think that he'll have a better chance to win and succeed in that.
Bro, the last time you played that progressive football against City, you got packed like 7-2, like 3-1 and 4-1.
Because we had Rob Holding, we had Partey who just came back from injury, the team was a mess, Saliba was out. It's not the same. If we play the same attacking football against Liverpool or City right now with our full starting 11, they don't pack shit. We probably beat both of them. Last season we played Liverpool. I think they were missing Salah. Fair enough. But outside that, we played Liverpool at the Emirates with our full team. We played attacking football from the very beginning, and we beat them 3-1. Right? I won't count City this season because I know they're not the same. They obviously played expansive and they got slapped up, but they're not in form. But you're comparing a team that was scrapped 2 seasons ago, that was going through a bad run, to a full 11 Arsenal this season.
Before I do the super chats, do you think Arteta will do this then?
If you, I worry that he won't do it.
We come back. The problem is,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm going to tell you,
I think he won't.
The majority of Arsenal fans I speak to lately have been saying that's what I want to do. But once you ask them, do you think your manager will do this? They're like, maybe.
Mamo, I just told you, if he doesn't make it past PSG, I think that mental block in his head will continue for next season, which is why I think he'll be up and down, defend here, attack here, possession here, no possession here. And we will challenge because we have very good players, a very good team. But because of that mental block and him being too scared, in my opinion, with how he approaches some games, I don't think we'll win. That's why I've said he should be gone this summer if we get knocked out by PSG, but he obviously is not going to go in.
Let me do this super chats before I get the other guys' opinions. Blaze is saying the only difference between us has been defense. Arsenal 13 draws, 5 more than any in the top 6, because they can hold on to points better than the rest, taking games serious hype. This season, I have to say that the only difference between, I actually think that Chelsea offensively, numbers-wise, is better than Arsenal without a striker as well. Midfield-wise, they are better because they create more. Defensively, Chelsea have struggled massively. XG, chances against them show this. So if Chelsea get 2 centre-backs or a centre-back and a goalkeeper like a David Raya, I think overall, Chelsea can reach the Arsenal level. Why not? because the midfield is better. The offensive numbers don't lie, to be honest. So
Wait. Why is their midfield better?
Do you want me to show you what Don have shared me yesterday? You are last.
So then
okay, I'm gonna tell you.
Why are you
I'm gonna
using
tell you
stats to make your argument? No. I got you. Why are you using the stats to make arguments there?
Because it matches. I'm gonna tell you why. Because
we scored more goals than them.
When it matches what we see, that means what we see is correct. When the stats don't match what we see, now we start analyzing why we're seeing what we're seeing. But literally,
so why have dead Arsenal, who cannot score for shit, have 2 more goals?
No. You misunderstood the point. You misunderstood. Arsenal midfield has lost its creativity. You are dead last in the league, below Southampton, Ipswich, from creation in the middle. Okay,
I agree. But you can't say stats are. This is why midfield is better. Okay,
and we watch it,
because
and also we see you not creating from the middle at all. So it matches what we watch.
So let me ask you this. Okay, so you're saying their midfield outperformed us this season. That's different.
Yeah. Yes.
An informed Chelsea midfield of, I don't know, is it Lavia, Palmer, and Caicedo? Is that for you guys? I'm assuming that's the 3.
Lavia, right? Enzo, Palmer with Caicedo.
Give me 3. Yeah. Okay. And a prime midfield, a peak midfield of Odegaard, Rice, and Partey, all in form. I think our midfield is better.
But Partey is 32, so there is no peak. But Partey is 32, there is no peak there. There is no peak here.
You don't believe what you're saying.
Okay. Let me switch it up. To suit Mo's 1 point thing. I think peak Odegaard,
number 1,
peak Rice,
your midfield, peak Palmer, what we saw last season, all your midfield is not peak Palmer. Like, let's establish this.
Sure. Like, I think
I'm using your words.
Peak Odegaard, peak Rice, and Partey from this season, not even peak, forget Partey, for a peak Partey. This season, Partey, along with peak Odegaard and peak Rice, I think our midfield is better.
Yeah, I was going to say peak Caicedo might be better than peak
Partey. I didn't say individuals. I'm talking about overall midfield. What are we doing here? Your midfield is the same as last season. It hasn't changed.
When all Ashraf, I don't believe it because I haven't seen enough of it. But when those 3 play together, it's majestic. It's beautiful. I'm not gonna say it.
Mo said prime. He didn't say overall. He just said in their prime.
And have I not been saying?
Yeah, in our prime, I think our midfield is better. We've seen it the last 2 seasons.
For months, right? And I need my flowers for this. Lavia is the most important midfielder that we've got. He just can't stay fit.
How do you know this from 5 or 6 games? That's not
bro. It's about balance, bro. It's about
majestic.
Balance. Caicedo and Enzo together, it can work, but consistently it don't. What Maresca wants to do?
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think Partey, Rice, and Odegaard together is incredible when they're all in form. No, but it makes no sense
when they're all in form.
You didn't even let me finish my point.
We saw it last season. Well,
hold on. No, wait. Different manager.
Sam, I gotta pray Maghrib.
No. I'm talking about Arsenal, not Chelsea.
Oh, you sure? Okay, it's about Arsenal. When Lavia's fit and you've got all 3 of them playing with each other, the control is different.
I agree. I think Arsenal's is better when we're together. Sometimes you're on mute. There you go.
So this whole time has Chaz and David actually presented a valid argument why you're gonna go ahead of Arsenal? Is it based off your track?
Husam.
Is it based on what you've done in the windows? Because once again, let me just remind you, quick reminder, David. Quick reminder before you get angry. Just a quick reminder. You all protested, and a day later you signed Quenda. Can I trust Chelsea in the transfer window to go sign the players that are of experience of it? And by the way, when me and Ashraf and others talk about experience, we're not asking you to sign 30-year-olds. We're even saying 26. Because your oldest player is 25 right now, which is a madness, and you know it's a madness as well. Because the best player in the league is literally 32 years old. Just keep that in mind when it comes to age and stuff like this. Saka's young but experienced. Declan Rice is young but experienced because he's been doing this shit for 6 years now. European Cup final with West Ham, etc. There is, in the words of Jose Mourinho, when he sat on Sky Sports, he said, there is the young and the young. Because there is young, like Conor Bradley, who just broke out. And then there is young, like Trent, who's been playing for 7 years.
Sam, we don't need experience to challenge. We need experience to win. That's the difference.
No, you need experience to challenge as well.
I don't think. If we're saying Arsenal's definition of title challenge, we could definitely do that with young, better players.
Okay, can I ask a question? When you were
What
going,
do you say,
I
Arsenal?
think
What is your definition of title
when
challenge?
you
What
were
is your
going through a
definition?
tough time,
No,
who
but
got you
Ashraf,
out?
he said Arsenal as the benchmark. I didn't. My definition would be Man City, which is winning it. I don't care.
Yeah, I
Chelsea
agree.
next season challenge
First of all, we
because we
need to make
buy
realistic comparisons. I'm not
if
going
we
to
buy
compare it to
Oshman and
City
we
yet.
challenge, I'm not gonna be like, yes, we
You
challenge.
cannot compare
we
it to
improve.
City yet. It's
I
way
don't
too early.
care.
Way too early. Way too early for City
I'm not
comparisons.
saying they're the benchmark for next
Yes, so we're
season.
comparing it
in
to the
general.
second place, which is normal.
What, this season second place? Or last?
No, we're saying in general, okay? I think
Like
Manchester
second
City
of the
over
last
these
2-3 years.
let's say these last 7 years, even
True.
bigger sample size. These last 7 years, Manchester City have been like the upper echelon best club in England. And then you got Liverpool in second, you got Arsenal in third. I'm trying to compare it to what's the caliber after you. Because I'm not going to compare it to United and Spurs and be disingenuous. I'm not going to compare it to the Villas and the Newcastles because you have a lot more financial strength. And on top of that, you are a lot more attractive because I'm not silly. Like, oh, if Newcastle make Champions League, they're more attractive than Chelsea. No, they're not. Chelsea still are more attractive. And the third thing is, I'm trying to compare you to the third tier. The one team above you right now is Arsenal. Can you catch them? And that's what I'm saying. When you had tough moments this season, who's bringing you out of the tough moments? That in itself needs experience. Not to win, just to challenge. This is a reality, by the way. I'm not making shit up. Like, when you had a really bad run of form, like 2 months almost, no one was really there to just step up and bring you out of the moment. That's the problem, by the way, because all teams go through
I definitely agree. I agree with those moments. So I understand your point in terms of that experience will help you over the line with those situations, not necessarily when you're on the highs or when you're average, it's when you're going for the lows. But
yes,
even then, though, if you ask David, the performances weren't bad enough for me just to look at them per se. It was definitely a collective confidence, management, injuries, all of those in one made it a scenario where in 4 months or 13th. I don't think it was. I think it's very lazy just to go, the players aren't experienced. Yeah, that's.
Are you
that's
talking about a bad performance or a good performance?
I'm talking about if you look at the games we drop points in, I think better players get over the line regardless of the.
That's my point, but that's why you need experience. I give you a prime example. Liverpool this season away at
still
Arsenal.
think profiles on players are more important, though, in my opinion.
Okay,
if we're talking about winning, then I'm not going to argue that. If we're talking
I'm not just talking about winning. I'm talking about taking that next step. Let me give you an example. Liverpool this season away at Arsenal, we were bad. We didn't perform well away at Arsenal. They had Lewis Skelly for the first time, Kivior, stuff like that. We didn't take advantage. We didn't play well. Arsenal were better than us that day at the Emirates when we played them. One moment, Trent balling behind, Salah scores 2-2. You escape the Emirates with a point. And that's why I'm saying, I'm talking about the lows. I'm talking about, the Fulham game that you had as an example. I'm talking about like games like that where you're really low, like you're really just you're not on a high right now, because it's easy to perform. And there's something that Mo always points out. It's easy to perform when the team is on a high.
Yeah, but there's
very
context.
easy to perform.
That Fulham game started the low. That wasn't because of the low period.
Yeah, but I'm talking from then.
You used the
2
Fulham
months.
game as an example. That's the wrong example to use, because before that game, we had drawn to Everton, and I think we lost Ipswich. So our form wasn't that bad before that. It would have been 2.
Yeah, I can tell you about the 2 games against Brighton.
That's more recent. That's more recent.
Yeah, the 2 games against Brighton were horrible. I remember what you're.
In my opinion, put a better profile striker ahead of Jackson.
Chelsea get 10 more goals. 10 more goals.
And Petrovic was. We're doing hypotheticals here. Petrovic is doing goal, and with a better profile would be Delap. I don't want to use Yoker as level because that's like world class levels. I want to use someone below that who we could have realistically attained. Let's just say, I don't know who we could have got, but let's say Delap was here from the beginning of the season. We had Petrovic. I genuinely believe would probably be 3rd place, or higher, or even 2nd. That's not crazy for me to say, because despite the fact I've been in poor form for 4 months, despite our inconsistencies, we're still 4 points off 2nd as it stands.
But do you think Arsenal went full throttle this season as well?
I'm not talking about external factors. I'm talking about our own season. I'm talking about our own season. That's why I said we wouldn't be guaranteed to be title challenging, but I still think we'd be way more secure than top 4 and then be looking to push on. But the club didn't do the right thing.
Isn't that a lot more teams? Isn't that most
and when
teams?
People say, you can use the same logic for everyone. I never said you can't. It's still relative. I'm not saying that we improve and everyone else doesn't improve. But in my opinion, I like this squad. and I've been saying it for 2 years, so I've been consistent with that. I've never backed away from the squad. I don't agree with all the signings they make, but I understand why they make them. But I was annoyed we didn't get the Osimhen. I was annoyed Petrovic didn't come back and stay, because I do believe that would help the season. So I'll call out the board for that. But I disagree with Sam to a certain degree when he says you need it to challenge. I don't think you need that experience necessarily to challenge, but I do think you need that experience to get over the line. So
wait, can I ask a question to Mo? This is very. I'm very curious now, Mo. So that you obviously don't think there's a gap between Arsenal and Chelsea, like not that
There is
kind
a
of
gap. There is a gap. The manager
Yeah,
is
yeah.
better. The manager is
correct. But so, that's just the manager. That's it.
better. The defense, your defense is much better than them and the
Okay.
goalkeeper. It's like levels.
So that means you think Newcastle are very close to Arsenal, then, right? Because you think Newcastle is much better. Not much better. You didn't use those words. You think Newcastle is a better team than Chelsea in terms of the players. They're closer to challenging. They're closer.
I think Newcastle are close to challenge as well.
I asked you, are they closer to Arsenal than Chelsea?
In my opinion, yes.
And Mo, Ashraf, one sec. Who do you back more in the
I can-
summer? Who do you back more in the summer to make the right signings? Chelsea or Newcastle?
If
Chelsea.
Newcastle have
He
the
said
money,
Newcastle.
if
Chelsea,
Newcastle
Chelsea.
have the money, Newcastle.
Stop it.
Because of the board, because of your board.
Okay.
and
He said Newcastle.
Here
back
is the
then as
problem.
well.
Here is the problem. Sam actually said that many times. If Chelsea board this summer change the way they approach the market, as you said, as you want, as David wants, as Don wants, as Nina wants, as the Winter Surfer want, to go and sign, instead of freaking signing Delap, you go and sign Osimhen or Gyökeres or Trafford Gyökeres. I will say that Chelsea are closer. Why? Because I believe your board is not approaching the market the right way. Because as you said, imagine if they went in the summer and got us. Imagine if Chelsea, if Arsenal didn't sign Gyökeres. Imagine if Chelsea forked the money last summer to get Gyökeres. I want you just to imagine Chelsea this season with a Gyökeres up top. Or you actually agreed to Osimhen's wage and he came to Chelsea. I want people to imagine if the board were not frauds and they went and said, Osimhen, here is your 200K or 250K. You are our starting striker instead of Jackson this season. Imagine that. Imagine this.
One
we'll be sitting here
player
different.
can change the rhetoric. That's why I said,
Absolutely.
You don't need 5 experienced 26-year-olds. It's not necessarily about the
You need a
ages.
difference maker like an Isak. For example,
profiles,
Isak,
isn't it?
difference maker.
Yeah.
You need, for example, I think that Isak changed Newcastle season. Bruno Guimaraes changed Newcastle. There can be one player you add to your squad and he can absolutely take your squad from 65 points to like 75 right away, or 78 points or 80 points. Just one player that can add these extra 15 points. I'm not going to say Salah, because Salah had like by himself like 30 points or 25 points to Liverpool. But I'm saying the level below can add 15 points a season. Look at the numbers and the Chelsea creativity this season. Imagine if they had a freaking competent striker instead of the guy that wears flip-flop while shooting the ball, Jackson. Even though he was injured, before he was injured, they were 9 games without scoring a goal. Just I want you to imagine, guys, who's the top striker that will go 10 games or 9 games without scoring? No one. No top striker. So if your board changed the way they approach the market, I believe that Chelsea will be good this next season, right? Same way goes for Newcastle. If they have the money, I guarantee that they will go and sign the good right winger, the right center. They signed Botman, right? And he was injured, but Botman was one of the best center-backs 2 seasons ago. So the problem with Chelsea is the board now. Do I believe Maresca is good enough? Not really, but he's gaining experience. I didn't think that Arteta is good enough, and I think he's a very good coach now. Maresca can prove us wrong again next season or the season after, right? But at the current moment, I want Chelsea. If I'm a Chelsea fan, I want Chelsea to go and get an experienced man. The problem with some of the Chelsea fans, like you guys, like David, like Shez, like Don, that you guys were so much potch out that you guys are not seeing that maybe a better manager can make this team much better than now.
I never.
Mo,
What?
I wasn't potch out. What are we doing? I was never potch out.
Call me a flip flop.
But how? But no. But how are you guys not seeing that this Chelsea team, the likes of Enzo, Caicedo, Neto, can perform even better with someone like a Hansi Flick?
Mo.
What are you saying, Mo? Have you not seen said players perform well this season?
Mo, work with me for a second. Just work with me for a second, right?
What?
Changing the manager, right? Just changing them every single season. Your squad's not going to get better. You've got to choose someone. You've got to stick with them, regardless of who they are. whether it's
I'm
Klopp,
against that.
whether
That's me. I'm against this. I'm against this.
Wait, so what? So what? You shouldn't just.
I'm an Inter fan. I'm an
if your
Inter
manager
fan.
doesn't do well for one season, just get rid of him. Just get rid
No,
of him.
no, no, not only. Sometimes, okay, I'm gonna give you a story that I said yesterday on the stream, and people just said that it's crazy. Well, it's a very simple story. No. Luciano Spalletti. Inter for the longest time, guys, struggled to get Champions League football. 6 years, okay? Luciano Spalletti came, one season he didn't get it. The next season he progressed. We got Champions League football. Do you know what Inter board did when we achieved our target? They sacked him. Do you know why they sacked him? Because there was a better market opportunity that arrived. Do you know who? Antonio Conte. The year after, we came second in the league and we went to Europa League final. The year after, we won the league. I'm one of the people that say, fuck stability. If there is a better opportunity in the market, no matter if your manager even like gets you top 2, if there's a better opportunity in the market,
use a perfect
fucking
example.
go get
If
it.
Klopp becomes available tomorrow, do you take him? Chelsea fans.
No.
It's
You're
weird.
so foolish.
That is weird. That is my point.
Oh,
Husam. That
crazy.
is my point.
Oh
crazy.
my
See my
god!
point? I
No,
made
no,
my point. I made
Did
my
you just
point.
say you wouldn't take Klopp? Are you mad?
I
No,
made my
no,
point.
because
It's Chelsea fans. Oh my god.
Let me
You are
explain,
becoming an Arsenal obsessed
Yeah,
fan.
let
Can
David
I
explain, let David
Can I at
explain.
least
Oh my
explain?
God.
Can I at least
Jez,
explain?
are you
Oh,
taking
it's
Klopp
like-
first before he explains?
I'm
Can I
gonna
at
let
least explain?
David
I
speak
believe
first.
that-
Can you just say
The-
yes
the
or no?
main
Are you taking
couple-
No, I'm
Klopp?
gonna let David spoke first. I'm gonna let him finish.
No, I don't
Yeah.
want David to respond because I don't
No,
want
you
ideas.
answer first.
No, David, I'm
Would
gonna
you
gonna
hold
change
you,
his
David.
answer?
We're gonna give you the mic.
Are you taking
Hold
Klopp? Yes
on,
or no
hold
first?
on.
give me the
We're gonna
mic.
give
Give me
David
the
the
mic.
mic, but I don't want David to put ideas in Shiz's head. You say
Yes,
your
so
opinion.
Jez,
Before
are you taking
listening
Klopp?
to his opinion.
No,
Oh,
you
yeah, I
have to
know
tell
this
us.
game,
No
bro.
sitting on
I
the
know
fence.
this game. Don't turn off your camera.
Look
Come
how he
back
muted his
and
mic
tell
as
us.
well. Wow. Well, I'm not gonna answer any question you ask straight anymore, ever. Khalas, I'm gonna dance around the point. Don't
Tell
act
us
like
now.
you're lagging out.
Ask me the question again. I'll answer it.
Can you just will you take Klopp at Chelsea now if given the chance?
If he's available.
When's he gonna join? When's he joining?
Yeah.
He's joining fucking right now. Just tell me, are you taking him?
In the summer, he's joining in the summer.
right now,
Let me give
we'll
him a
take him in the
scenario.
summer.
Let me give you a scenario. Maresca makes Champions League football, wins Conference League. Klopp is available to coach Chelsea. Would you sack Maresca and get Jurgen Klopp? Just say yes or no. Why it's so hard?
It's a tough one, you know.
Bro, that's
so
not
hard.
a tough one at all, bro. That is mad.
It's
That is
What's
mad.
this? Ashraf, would you take Klopp?
What do you mean? That's such a
See,
simple question. Of
he's
course
never
I
answered
would.
the question.
He just
He said I
"Of
would."
course I would.
he said, of course I would.
Obviously, I would. What do you?
Wait.
Even if
He said
Arteta
it's
progresses,
not any
Too long,
question.
too
Of
long.
course I would.
Pep and
You know what? You know
Klopp
what,
are the only
Shez?
two
You're
managers
doing
out there I
that.
would
You're
sack
doing.
managers
You're
for.
doing that. You're doing that.
Enrique and-
The thing. You're not,
Chez,
David. He's
Can you
exposed.
just
You
answer
asked
straight
and-
before David explains?
yes or no,
Just
bro.
answer straight. Just yes or no. Are you taking Klopp?
Why are you waiting on me? This is so rude to David.
Wallahi, we want David to
Oh
explain.
my God,
Hey,
we're
bro.
all gonna mute our mic and let David speak for 10 minutes. Can you just tell me yes or no?
I'm not sure, you know.
Okay, no, it's a no.
You
David,
know
go ahead.
what Chez is worried? Chez is worried that if Chelsea do get better and they keep improving and Maresca does well, he wants to come back to this moment and say, I was asked on Footy Job's Most channel, would I take Klopp over Maresca? And I said, no. I stood by Maresca because I could see what Maresca is doing. Bro,
That would be true,
don't
but
be-
I didn't actually say yes or no. So
Here comes. Look at this. Look at this.
look at this.
Look at this. Klopp was broken. He couldn't hack it anymore. Big up chest. Don't let them get to you.
my own person, man.
Wallahi, Said, you're the one that's
Rationally,
broken. Wallahi.
What's wrong with rational thought? What's wrong with sitting on the fence?
What is the
Sometimes
rational?
That's not rational. That's not rational though.
Have some shame.
I'm
Said.
sure David's going to give his response.
Yes, David. Yes,
David.
David. Let David explain. You're exposed.
Yeah, yeah.
It's fine.
Right. So first of all, the way my squad is currently made up, I don't think it makes sense to chop my manager and then restart the process that in terms of the squad learning a brand new system again for like the third time. I don't think that makes sense, in my opinion. That's the first point. Second of all, I have no idea how good Maresca could actually be. For all we know, Maresca could win us 3 league titles in a row in the next 4 years. He could do it. He could. But if I sack him now, I'll never know. Right? Third of all, the squad right now.
That's one more Premier League than your club won in 13 years.
Cool, whatever. Let me have the mic. I don't care about.
I'm
this
talking
stupid
to
stuff.
Saeed.
I don't care. I don't care. I want the mic. You said you be quiet. Right. Third of all, I'm right. The players that I have right now, they're all progressing in the right direction. It looks like we could get Champions League football. Who's to say that next step we don't take another step and then we take another step? I'm just saying the way my squad's going, I'm happy with progression. For me personally, considering what the club had to go through 2 years ago, stability is what the club needs right now. If this was Roman Abramovich Chelsea, I'm with you. I'm getting rid of the manager. I'm taking Klopp, but it's not Roman Abramovich Chelsea anymore. It's not. This is Boney Chelsea, and Boney Chelsea hasn't had stability for the past 4 years. So give me some stability for now. Yeah, let me rack up a couple FA Cups, and then
You're an Arsenal fan. Are you an Arsenal fan?
And then we can. It's not about being an Arsenal fan because Mo, give me a bit of time. Give me 2 years. Give me 3 years,
West
and then I'll go
London
back.
forever.
Give me the mic. You said you'd be quiet. Turn off your mic, bro. Turn it off. Right. I just need some stability for a bit of time. Then I can go back to being, we're in a win now situation. But my squad is not in a win now set. So before it gets to win now, let me have a bit of stability. Thank you very much. Now you can turn on the red mic. Go. Have the red mic.
Stability. That's Arsenal talk that they mock all the time.
First of all,
Husam,
everything you just said, you have become everything you have mocked. You can never mock Ashraf ever again. You can never mock Arsenal Football Club because this sounds. I'm talking to David Football Corner right now. I'm talking to Saad. That's what I'm talking to. This exact thing like talk to Saad. Same exact thing. Same exact conversation that I have with Saad. Progression and step by step. If you have the opportunity to upgrade your Honda Civic that could become a Lamborghini to an already ready Lamborghini and you say no, that is just utter stupidity. Utter stupidity. It's like asking, would you take prime Tony Kroos over Enzo? No, I wouldn't, because Enzo could become the next Tony Kroos and play at Chelsea for the next 10 years. Yeah, but like he could, but like there's already prime Tony Kroos. So what's the point? You get me? Like what you're trying to reach, Klopp already is. That's Mo's point about the Conte thing. Whatever Spalletti was trying to do, Conte already is that. That's why they sacked Spalletti, got Conte one Serie A. And that's
also, I forgot to say, I don't believe Klopp's football is actually league-winning football. I think more times than not, you will lose the league because of the style of football.
He literally won the league, got 97, and he literally lost the league by 1 point.
No. That's not what I said. I'm not saying he can't win a league.
The 2 times he got second, he would have won the league this last year and the year before.
Oh my God!
I didn't say he can't win a league. I said the style of football means that more often than not,
save your guy.
He will.
Huh?
That's my opinion.
Save your guy.
And I've been watching
David's opinion, man. Let him land.
If Dortmund didn't play Klopp football for 3 games a season, they probably would have an extra 2 league titles. But because it's so gung ho, it leaves you exposed. And in a league title race, sometimes that can expose you.
Also,
and Maresca does even worse.
With your questioning, it's assuming Maresca won't become a Premier League winning manager, right?
It's what I'm saying.
Not now. I don't know. Do you know?
No.
Does
don't
anybody
change it.
That. Don't try.
No.
Does anybody know? Does anybody know?
He might become that. We don't know.
We don't know because the guy has even known.
How can you tell me to say? How can you give me
I'm going to tell you. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you clear. If Shez joins Chelsea tomorrow, can we make a definitive answer? That are you becoming? Like the guy has no history for us to even judge him. At least Jurgen Klopp had a history winning a league title, 2 league titles, and it's Maresca has no resume. Nothing. Zero.
That doesn't disprove my point. One bit.
It does because I can't make a judgment.
I used an analogy that disproves your point. Happen. If you have a bicycle that one day could become a car versus getting a car already, why should you take the risk on a bicycle that might become a car, might not become a car, versus when you've got a car already? What you're saying Maresca could be... What you're saying Maresca could become is what Klopp already is.
Husam, because sometimes if you get rid of the bike and you get the car, you get an Audi. But if you had kept the bike, you could have got a Lambo. That's all I'm saying. Pep had zero experience. Pep had zero experience.
Klopp is not an Audi, you fraud.
No. I'm just saying. Hey, Audis are good cars.
Klopp is a Ferrari at least.
BS. Right. Anyway, Right, okay. I've lost my point.
97
Maybe
points.
90, maybe
points,
90,
Champions
90.
League
Pep
winner.
had 0 experience
Yeah.
and won a treble. Hansi Flick had 0 experience and won a treble. I'm not saying that
These are the anomalies, David. These are anomalies.
But Mo, do you know how annoyed I'd be if I had the anomaly at my club and I got rid of him?
But is he the anomaly then? So you think he's the anomaly?
I don't know. If 3 years down the line, I'm sat right. Let me put it like this: if I was an Arsenal fan today, I would have wanted Arteta out 2 years ago. That's my opinion, because we've now got to a stage where you're now 5 years into the process. You got nothing to show for it. If I give my manager 3 years and then I can take stock, I don't think that's unreasonable.
He's been here he hasn't been here a year yet.
You know what I mean?
Get him out.
And he's not an anomaly.
And
From what we have watched, he's not an anomaly.
Mo believes we're going to meet our objectives. For context, he actually believes we're going to make our objectives. But yet you'd still get rid of him because of the afterthought of, but if you don't get rid of him...
Yeah, but I believe you could have been better even this season with a better manager. You can't tell me that if you had Jurgen Klopp this season, you would have been challenging. You would have.
What?
I don't think so.
We just spent this whole monologue of our experienced players, the downturn. How would Klopp change that?
Yeah, because he is experienced, so it compensates.
So
you get my point, though.
Just ask a serious question. How did Klopp change that? Imagine.
No. But Mo's point originally was Chelsea have a title. Wait, they don't have a title challenging squad. That's what you said and asked you earlier.
Yes, but you don't understand. Inter never had a winning title team.
I'm talking about Chelsea,
title-winning team. But here's the point: world-class coaches take a team that is not a title-winning team.
The giant of Juve, by the way, just so you know.
Just to let you know,
10 times in a row, Juve, not Juve with Vlahovic.
Some coaches take a team and make them title-winning team within one season. By the way,
Juve still have Ronaldo.
By the way, I don't think if Klopp comes in the summer, I don't think Chelsea win the league with Klopp. Just so I'm clear about.
They don't win the league,
but I definitely think. Yeah,
you get better.
But I definitely think he improves them. Yeah, 100%.
But hear this: they might
100%.
not win the league, but they might have a chance winning the Champions League. Hey, see, right there, club ball.
Yeah, I think it's crazy. Actually, let me just do the super chat before we hold on the result. Cliff here is saying 5.5 years equal 0. What top club would Mikel Arteta still have a job at? Any answer?
I don't know. I mean, he obviously was.
I would say no. As things stand, I would say Man United.
No, not 0.
They did the same thing.
You think Man United would have kept the manager 5 years if he doesn't win anything?
Kept him. Spurs, Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal.
You would have kept Arteta 5 years without winning a title.
Yes.
Nothing. No.
Mo, why are you acting like
not me?
Challenging and winning. He's talking about United and Spurs.
Sports Group.
Spurs, yes. The only club is Spurs.
Man United, I think, wouldn't.
You're saying Man United wouldn't. Have you seen the state of their club?
Yeah,
they wouldn't
I know what you're saying. Sam's thinking of how the level has changed to it where it is now.
By the way, United would take just so you
first time 5 years ago, they still held on to the Europa League.
5 years ago, they won Europa League. They sacked Mourinho. They got Arteta. Okay, all right. They won Europa League. They got Arteta. 5 years down the road, they have won.
They would have sacked him. They would have sacked him.
No. Man United.
Wait, they didn't sack Mourinho after Europa.
Man United, guys. Man United, as things stand with Jim Ratcliffe, if they finish second 3 years in a row, they're keeping the manager. Given their state, what's wrong with you guys, man? They wouldn't have sacked him at all. Jim Ratcliffe, they're looking for stability.
I think
they didn't win the Europa in
2018.
They sacked him 2 seasons later. When he was disgusting playing in the middle of the table.
And he was like 13th or something.
Yeah, it was 2 seasons later, and then all
in my opinion, okay, I'm just gonna speak for myself. I can't have a manager at my club for that long, right? But to be honest with you, I hear what Husam's point is. From where Arsenal were and where Man United are now, they would have kept Arteta. Hold on. From Liverpool, with Ricky Lambert and Fabio Borini, they would have kept Arteta for now if he improves play.
This is the worst you've ever seen Man United, correct? Worst ever Man United we've seen in our life.
In our lifetime, yes.
They're still winning trophies. That's a difference, though.
Oh, you're saying this, but
yeah, but their fans still want managers out while winning trophies.
That's my point. That's why they would have sacked you by now.
guys. Usually, us growing up,
You missed the
when one of
point.
the big clubs was like 14th, 15th, it used to be like in August or September, and then they caught up to the rest of the pack anyway. Man United, as things stand, are in 15th place in May 2025. They're in 15th. If you're telling me if you sat down with Jim Ratcliffe right now and offered him 8th, 5th, second, he would say no. You're absolutely crazy, because Jim Ratcliffe is looking for stability, which means consistent Champions League football, which Arsenal have right now. Consistent Champions League football, stability, finances, revenue. That's what he's looking at. So you need to understand something. You're looking at this from a prism of like Roman Abramovich wants to win type thing. I get it, but the other clubs are not like this.
Cliff, you got your answer. Cliff, you got your answer. Ashraf, reality is Arsenal aren't in Liverpool bracket. Arsenal are here with the rest of us. That's a reality. You can say this or that, but look at the table.
I wouldn't say Arsenal with the rest of the clubs.
I won't even bother. This is such a stupid comment.
But even if you're a tier below Liverpool, you're still a tier above everyone else, at least.
Okay.
We are at a tier of challenging. We're not at a tier of winning trophies. It doesn't matter which club is there. It doesn't matter. That club's changed. This season, it's not City, it's Liverpool. Next season, it might be City. It might not be Liverpool. The point is, we're at a challenging tier, which is tier 2, if you want to call it that, to make it easier for you, Dakai. I said I won't answer, and I still answered. Chelsea are a level or 2 below that. Can they get there? Of course they can. But you shouldn't aim for that. You should aim for tier 1.
Yeah. Arsenal.
And by the way, sorry, I usually never respond to the comments saying Mourinho finished second and got sacked the next season. Bro, please shut up. Don't come up with dumb stats if you don't have actual facts. He came second in 20. Mo said he won the Europa League and then got sacked the season after. That's not true. He won the Europa League in 16-17. Yes, finished second the season after and then got sacked the season after that.
Third season,
2018 to 19.
Okay. If Arsenal don't win, leave Frodetta and the captain in France. I'm fed up with the process. Rebuilds, just win a fucking trophy.
Odegaard thing, I think is mad. Arteta,
Ashraf,
I agree with.
You think Arteta should be gone if he doesn't win against PSG?
Yeah, because for me, it's not even about the trophy. It's about progression. He would have stagnated or regressed even this season, in my opinion, which is why I would say he should be sacked.
Okay. Ashraf, what if you lose to Liverpool and Newcastle and Chelsea win their next 2 games?
And what if we beat Liverpool and Newcastle and you lose to Forest and Newcastle?
No. But that hypothetical situation, that hypothetical situation for Nasser. What if you lose to Liverpool and Newcastle and Chelsea win their next 2 games?
What happens?
Would the gap still be there? Just a yes or no question.
No, obviously not, because Chelsea would have. No. The gap would be there still in terms of the quality of teams, but not in terms of points, obviously.
Can I tell you why Ashraf is right?
Okay,
Can I tell you why Ashraf is right? 1 second. This is very important.
Can I rephrase what he said? No matter where Chelsea finish this season, ahead of Arsenal or not, the gap is going to be there.
Let me tell you why Ashraf
that is his
right.
point.
When Liverpool were really bad and we finished 5th under Jurgen Klopp, above us finished Newcastle and Manchester United. Newcastle and Manchester United
were they better than Liverpool?
They were still not in a better position to challenge than Liverpool the year after.
Okay, fair enough. Very good argument. Nasser, you lost. Just put the Scotch bonnet Spurs in the bag, man. I don't know that. What does that mean? What does that mean, Fonzie? I don't get it, Fonzie, to be honest with you.
It might be a Canadian joke. Put some maple syrup on that thing and send it again.
Fonzie, I don't get it.
It's a sample size. Arsenal have proven they can finish a certain level.
I don't need stat to say Palmer. Okay, go ahead. Finish.
No. The guy responded saying that's crazy, etc. But he's not understanding that for Arsenal to be a certain level for so long and Chelsea haven't done that is why he's saying what he's saying.
Yeah,
if Arsenal only won 1 season above us, then he wouldn't be saying that. But if Chelsea next
Arsenal
season
have went second. Where if Chelsea went 12th, 6th, let's say 4th.
But not to the same degree, obviously.
Yeah, but you're not like there.
That's very good. Guys, before we rest do super chats, there's about 800 people in the house. Hit that like button. Also, share this channel in the description. Don Husam, of course, and Ashraf Talks Ball in the description, along with Durag Daris. He couldn't be here today. I don't need stats to say that Palmer and Enzo is better than Rice and Odegaard.
I don't need stats to say Saka is better than Neto. I don't need stats to say Saliba and Gabriel is better than all your centre backs. I don't need stats to say Ben White and Timber are better than all your full backs. I don't need stats to say that Raya is better than your keeper. Why do you choose the one that you win, yani? I don't need stats to say that. Khalas, habibi.
Can I ask you guys a question for real? Well, for
And
real,
I don't
just
even think they win that, to be
simple,
honest.
just simple. Who's better as a left back, Lewis Kelly or Kukurea?
Cucurella.
Me personally, if given the chance, I'd sign Lewis Kelly.
That's a
Ashraf?
different question. That's a
That
completely
is completely different. Answer the question.
Yeah, no, the question
You
isn't
didn't answer
signing.
the
The
club
question is
question.
better
Why should
now.
I? Go there. You are. Hold that.
You answered it, and you answered it
Hold that.
completely
You didn't
incorrect.
answer the club question. I ain't gonna
If
answer.
you're
that
gonna
question.
answer, at least answer the right question.
No, you didn't.
I
Answer.
No,
swear
no,
this
hold
is
on.
not me.
Hold on. I'm gonna rephrase the question so people can understand it better.
I understood
You have a
what you
team
said.
tomorrow. You're not Chelsea. You're not Arsenal, and you have a left back to
I
sign
was gonna
tomorrow.
ask that.
You
And
changed
you
the
have a left
question.
back. No.
I
but
know
that's the
that's
whole
a good
point. The season is
question. Yes.
season is over now. Season is over. It's finished. 3 games left.
Who's
It's
had a
over.
better season this season?
So
Cucurella
forget
or
who has a better
Skelly?
season.
Skelly,
Who's had a
of
better
course. What do you mean, Cucurella or Skelly? Skelly, 100% has had the better.
Why
season.
is this? Why is this Skelly? Of course, is it because he's new?
No, it's because Skelly has had a breakout year. It's because Skelly has
So
played in
you
the
just
Champions
said
League.
because you've got a
It's because
breakout year.
Skelly has not gotten cooked by any winger he's come up against, and because Skelly has shown the ability to invert it to midfield, and was one of the reasons why they dominated Real Madrid. That's
because
why.
he's new. No, but he's a
Can
newcomer.
I just tell you the reality? Can I just tell you the reality? Shad? Lewis Kelly is just a better player than Kukurea.
No, he's
No, he's not. He plays in a
That's
different
it.
system,
That's
a
it.
different
That's it.
setup under
Wallahi,
a
that's
different
it.
manager.
Oh,
You put Cucurella in that role, and with his experience and his quality, he probably does better than Skelly. What now?
I can't. You know what's
In
Just
mad?
Arsenal. No, in
We've sa-
Arsenal, there's no way
He's a
Cucurella is
better.
better than
He's a
my
better.
point.
Okay,
Please
let
do.
me tell you guys. He's a
Just
better
prove my point.
passer. He's a better
No, he's
creator.
not.
I will.
He's a better player on the ball. He has better vision than Kukurea. Like there is too many things for his game, and also defensively, Kukurea. What is yeah?
Yeah.
Challenge me on any of what I said.
We're not having this debate. We're just not.
This
I
is-
think- I
Anyway,
think
might
he's
as well
just-
Skelly's
No,
better.
do you know what's crazy? Do you know what's crazy? The fact we've sat here for half an hour talking about how you need experience. Yet all of you are rating the youngin. Make it make
He's a
sense.
newcomer.
Make it
Therefore,
make
he starts. He's new.
For me,
You're
for me,
rating the
he's
Being
just-
new
Two
doesn't make you a
irrelevant
better
points.
player.
He's a
Two
better
Yeah,
irrelevant
but I
player.
rate
points.
Palmer over Odegaard. Palmer is
Two
a young.
irrelevant points.
different.
Yeah.
Completely different.
There is a
We're not
lot
gonna
of.
go there, we're not gonna
There's
go
a
there.
lot of-
saying,
By the way,
Why
there's
do
a lot of
you
younger.
alone?
There's a lot of younger strikers that are better than older.
Yeah, you're not
strikers. A lot
saying
of
you're not
younger-
saying me.
It's
Did,
like
did
saying
you hear me
Waneri's better
say
than
fine
Odegaard.
James Milner? I didn't say
Is
that.
Waneri better than Odegaard?
No.
Why not? This season, Waneri's been way better than him. Now what?
Waneri's
Now
best
what?
game
That-
We're
this
not
is
talking
what
about
I'm-
this. We're not talking about
this
this
is
This is
season.
why
He's
you
not
are
even
a
better than
waffler,
Cucurella this
David.
season, though,
You're the
regardless.
biggest waffler because
How
Nwaneri's
about
best games.
waffling?
Because Nwaneri's best games were off the right wing. Wrong
Yeah.
comparison.
What he can't? What he can't
That's
play?
true.
What as a creator, he's not been better than
Let me
Odegaard.
finish
As
this.
a
we
fan,
can
No,
end
no,
this.
he's not. He's actually
he's not.
He's not good. He's not
No,
doing
he's not
good
been better
creating.
than
In the
Odegaard.
10, by the way,
Oh,
in the
my
10, Nwaneri still needs
Oh,
like
my.
3 more years of fine tuning, just so you know.
Bro, you put Saliba and Gabriel on our centre back pairing, you guys would change your whole.
And Kukurea was still not like be better
And
than
you would
those
not
guys.
be saying this. You would not be saying
Wallahi,
this.
I would.
Our defensive stats look better. We have more clean sheets. And then you'd be saying, with the goals he's included.
I mean,
with the
you
goals
say
he's
that,
scored,
but I'm looking at the numbers here. So Skelly, obviously, when it comes to take-ons, it's miles difference between them. Skelly's obviously winning that. Aerial duels, Kukurea contests more, but Skelly wins a lot higher percentage. Grand duels, Skelly contests more and wins a much higher percentage than Kukurea.
So that's
He
defensive,
contests-
by the way.
No, it
Defensive.
isn't.
He
Wait, wait,
contests
wait, wait,
7.7.
Let him finish, David. Let him
5.6.
finish.
Let me
finish.
No, wait, no, because he's only reading
I'll
out the
share my
numbers.
screen right
Help
now. I
him.
can share my
Read
screen right
out-
now.
Read out tackles. Read out interceptions. Go on, read them out.
I
Read
didn't
out.
have
clearances.
Okay, let me-
already.
What?
David has. Spurs?
Don't act like I don't know this. Go read.
Yeah,
One
because
second,
I
one
haven't got
second,
the
one
stats
second,
up.
one
I didn't even
second.
bother getting the stats up.
One second. I'll share my screen just so you guys can see everything.
Ashraf,
I don't
now,
want it to
spending
be.
some.
Mums,
Ashraf,
mums,
man spending
on my
some
screen
time
right
One
now.
second, one second, one second. I'm sharing my
On my-
screen.
On my screen
Mo, I can
right
share,
now.
right?
On my screen
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
I mean, you can
Ariel
share, of
Juice
course.
one.
Yeah, what's the
Ariel Juice 1. Miles Lewis Scary 0.49. Ariel Juice 1. Mark Kukurea 0.99. Don't chat. You see, this is
Yeah, there you go,
David,
there we go.
Oh,
So we don't
wow,
have
would
to
you
argue
look
on
at that?
semantics. Yeah.
Hmm.
Again, I didn't bring on take-ons because I said it's a massive difference. Aerial duels, I said Kukurea has more, but the percentage is better for Skelly. Ground duels, he cleans him up. It's not even close, right? Duels one is obviously everything into account, so that's fine. Interceptions, he is better. I agree. And ball recoveries is better. Possession lost, which you didn't want to mention, by the way. Cucurella loses the ball more per game
Tackles.
than Skelly.
Where are the tackles? Where are the tackles? Tackles? No?
Didn't I put tackles made 1.7 to 2? So again, that's not the biggest gap. But anyways, fair. But the point is, because you guys are making it seem like it's not even a question. I would argue the stats are more in favor of Skelly, by the way, than Cucurella.
Cool. I would argue that Miles Skelly has played 1 season and Mark Cucurella has played like 7. He's got years to go before we can start.
Okay, let's decide what we're talking about first. Are we talking about this season, potential, overall? Which one?
I think this season, Cucurella's been better, in my opinion. I still think so.
Cucurella's been better. Also,
I mean, you guys like using stats for like midfield. When it comes to this, you don't like using stats.
Ashraf, look at the minutes, bro. The minutes over the whole season. Talk about influence, bro. Cucurella's been more influential to Chelsea's best than Lewis Skelly.
But that's why I've put it per 90. That's why I've put it as per 90.
No. We're talking about the whole season.
I didn't even know you put it per 90.
Whole season. We're talking about the whole season.
Days, you fraud.
Are you guys okay? How you compare 2 players on the total minutes? You have to use per 90. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. We all know you're ranting people for doing that.
No. Ashraf. Let's not do this. Over the whole season, because
how do you compare 2 players on totals? Are you guys okay?
Ashraf, let me finish.
Go ahead. Talk.
Let me finish. Over the whole season, bear in mind, we're talking about the whole season, not since Lewis Skelly has been playing football. Yeah, the whole season, the whole 38 games. Cucurella has done more for his team than Martin Skelly.
No, but you don't. I don't think you understand. Because there is a player that played 33 games and a player that played 20 games, so we cannot compare total stats yet. You cannot compare total stats.
No, they know that. They know that. They're pretending
they know
like
this,
they don't
but they understand exactly what is going on.
They want me to compare totals. Are you okay?
But Ashraf, that's my point. This season, as a whole.
This season,
as a whole. Having half a good season. That's not how we judge things. Oh, well, Potts did good last 6 games, keep him. Ignore the last, 32 games. That's fine. Just ignore that. Let's look at the last 6.
Wait. Because you're saying
no. Hold on. I have a very simple question. I have the simplest question to them.
Why did you ask that question, Mo, when you brought up Cucurella and Lewis Skelly? What was your point of bringing up the comparison?
Because of the left back versus left back and player to
player.
Exactly.
So then what does it matter this season? We're talking about which player is better.
Can I ask you guys something? If you have a striker that played 38 games and scored 15 goals, is that better than the player that came to the league and played only 15 games and scored 10 goals? Which one would you take?
They'll tell you the one who played more games.
No, because let me explain. Because you asked me. No, let me explain.
Just answer the damn question.
More 1-0. More 1-0.
Wait. No, because it's a different question. In terms of if Husam said, if I could sign someone, I would sign Miles Lewis Skelly. I get that. That makes perfect sense. Cucurella is like 28. Miles Lewis Skelly is 18. Of course, you're going to take the younger. That makes sense. I'm not saying Lewis Skelly's got potential and he looks like a.
No, I got it. No. Can I rephrase the question, Dave? No. Hold on. No. Hold on. Hold on. See, forget that 18 years old and 28 years old. See, I'm gonna make it simpler for you. You have a team that is ready to win the title next season, and you have a position of left back. For example, Liverpool, they want to win the title next season. They're not looking for resale value. They're not looking for the next 5 years, right? The question is, which fullback is suited more to win the title, Cucurella or Lewis Skelly for you?
Cucurella.
All right, then. That is my question.
Based on the fact that Lewis Skelly is 17, and we all know young players can't be consistent. We all know it.
He has been very consistent for 20 games. He has been very consistent for 25 games.
When Lewis Skelly has his down period, because he's going to have it because he's young, I will be here. And my opinion will stay the same, but I know all of yours will change. And that's fine.
Can I tell you?
When he's 18, yeah, that's true. He's 18. He's not 17.
That's what you do.
He's 18.
If Chelsea had Arsenal defense, they walk the league. Not without a striker.
We'll definitely be in a title challenge.
Not without a striker. That is one of the problems with the striker.
Even if Jackson was fit all year long, they don't win the league.
Stoppage time daily. By the way, shares his opinion. You say challenge. His point is we walk the league, so he's wrong. You're just wrong.
I disagreed with him. I agreed to certain
Yeah,
extent.
I agree with you. Yeah,
The
you
league.
would. You might have challenged, but you
I
wouldn't.
don't think we'd win it. I don't think.
Husam,
If
Iqbali
we had
is a
Palmer, we'd walk the league as well. So yeah, same thing.
Sam
No, you
Iqbali
wouldn't.
is a psychopath. They will keep spending until it works. Every year, 1, 2 will be successful.
This is my point
how do you know
earlier.
that?
I didn't get to say this.
How do you know that?
Mo, all our debate depends on when you think Chelsea need to have their success. If you believe that the project will work out, then you don't need to make any mad signings right now. You don't.
Okay, simple. Do you think you will win? Do you think this project will win a league before Arsenal?
Why is that to be before Arsenal?
I'm asking. Say yes or no.
Because Arsenal were primed to win the league this year or even next year.
Okay. Do you think this project will
I
win
don't
the league
believe
before
Chelsea
Arsenal?
will win the league next year. And I do believe Arsenal can or will win the league next year. So no.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
Why are we using Arsenal again?
Because the problem is because Liverpool already fucking won it and Man City already won it. And Man United are not going to fucking win it. And Spurs are not going to win it. So I only have 2 teams left without winning. So, Ched, I have only 2 teams left. It's Arsenal or Chelsea, guys.
I just think if you view the project as tomorrow, then we're screwed.
Like we know that Liverpool sees Liverpool
on the show,
successful.
I think David said.
But we're talking about next season, no?
If we not only next season, you don't mind waiting. You don't mind the young players being.
The Arsenal disease is spreading fast. That was when David spoke about processes and phases. Big up Timmy. It is.
I don't know. Everything is a process and a phase. Every single thing. I don't know what people are pretending.
I don't know what TTP. I don't know what TTP. Whether 1 or 60 years, Maresca forever. Arteta 2.0. I think Maresca is gonna be Arteta 2.0. Maybe.
Possibility.
To the point,
he won't be given that time.
To the point.
The way Chelsea are talking right now, it's 100% a possibility. Bro, Gilno picked up.
What have I said to him? What have I said?
I don't understand what Fonzie. If you think Maresca is forever Arteta 2.0, that means they can win the title in like 2 years. Basically, it will challenge in 2 years. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing for Chelsea, actually. Fonzie.
Or double, it'll be 4 years.
Yeah, people really vouching for Maresca over Klopp. Yeah, bro, that was
David are delusional.
I think that is the.
To be clear, that was David's opinion. Not
that's cool.
You know,
David, Ange, we all know what he was trying to say.
Yeah, is it a color thing? It's not. Let's group them away.
What the fuck?
Let's not just group people together. Chelsea fans.
It was Shez as well.
Let's not do that.
It was Shez, 100%.
Let's make that clear.
LFC saying so. David and Shez can't cry if they don't buy experience because who knows, the kids could be messy.
Yes, potentially Maresca could be
not
good.
what I'm saying at all, but you know.
That's
to be fair, no one has spoken about like
that's literally what you're saying about the player.
No. If you want to boil it down, if you just want to boil it down and be stupid about it,
you should sign Messi because
everyone's bloody Messi. Come on,
Estivao can be Messi one day. Let's not sign Messi.
That's literally the point.
You know what? If I keep Cucurella for long enough, one day he might be Miles Lewis Skelly. That's what we're doing nowadays. So it don't matter. It don't matter.
I don't think he
LFC, that's a genius super chat. The same app that Ashraf bought up had Vitinha rated 5.8 when he won man of the match against Arsenal. You data nerds need eyes.
The Squawker do match. The Squawker do match like scorelines. I don't think they do, to be honest. I haven't seen it ever.
Actually, the fact you have to go to the stats like that just stinks. It just does.
Wallah, I don't need
no.
stats.
Because more guys. If you want to talk only eye test, we can do that. I think that's a stupid argument though, because
Skelly wins on
there
eye
are people.
test.
Yeah, because people will use eye test the way they want. They will say, well, Odegaard, yes, he doesn't have goals and assists, but some stuff he does on the eyes is just beautiful. Like, it doesn't really matter. That's why when Mo used the midfield argument for you guys, I didn't argue against that. I said it makes sense. But let's look at how we have outscored Chelsea, even though apparently they have a better attack. Like, you have to use stats in everything, in my opinion.
They don't have a better attack.
Abdel Hadi saying, Ashraf, next 2-3 weeks could be looking rough. Come on, you Gunners.
It's not really. It's only.
There is no roughness. It's only tomorrow. There is no Abdel Hadi. There is no roughness. There is nothing, bro.
This week, it's 1 week. Next week, it could be 4th in the league.
All I'm saying, the way people will talk about.
I can't lie. I think our players will care about this Sunday.
That's what I'm thinking as well. I don't think you're gonna lie.
I don't think you're taking 2 hours.
I think because of the narrative, they will care.
I actually
But
think if we lose to PSG, I think we win all our remaining 3 games. I'm not lying.
I don't.
the narrative.
But it doesn't really matter. Again, it
I
doesn't
promise
matter
you
to be
you're not
honest.
gonna win a
Ashraf.
You're not
Again,
beating
I don't-
Newcastle. What, who you got left?
They've got
Liverpool and
Yeah,
Southampton.
Newcastle, innit? They got Newcastle.
They've
You're not
got
beating
At
Liverpool away,
Emirates.
Southampton away, and then Newcastle at home.
You're not beating.
No, Southampton away is the last game, but yeah.
Southampton is guaranteed win. Let's all cut the crap. That's 3 points right there.
The
So the
other
other
two.
two,
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
I think we win the
way
other 2
people-
if we lose to PSG. If we don't,
Inshallah,
then-
the way people will
Good.
talk about Arsenal, if on the 1% chance somehow Chelsea finish above them, oh, it will be interesting.
It'll be
I
interesting.
do-
it wouldn't-
No,
it
to
wouldn't
me-
mean shit, though,
Ashraf,
no?
Ashraf, to me, it wouldn't change anything. But I know to a lot
Exactly.
of people, it would. So
Yeah, those
Especially
guys.
The problem
Arsenal
that you
fans,
guys are not
especially Arsenal
realizing is you're sat here talking with chest. You've got to go to Newcastle away and Forest away yourself.
Are we
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
Exactly.
interest?
I don't know
What's
why
this
these
got to do
people
with-
are.
what's this got to do with Champions League next year?
No,
Sam,
because in
I-
order to finish
I'm
above
not
them,
okay.
you've got Arsenal can lose to Newcastle and they can lose to Liverpool. You're correct. But then you same thing, you can lose to Newcastle and can lose to Forest. So you have to do your job as well.
yeah, I know. But I've said the same thing all year. I've said we'll finish 5th. And I've been consistent with that. It ain't changed. So I ain't changing.
And
that.
also, it's documented on Top 6, on all these platforms are all on. I've said all along, Chelsea are making UCL. Why is everyone panicking? And the same people, Mo, but the trajectory, you've not won in X amount of games. 4 games later, I think Chelsea's going to make it. They can title challenge with Klopp. That's why it's long
Against
tough.
all odds, it's called after
It's called for Mo. I
being
said,
shit for 15 years, 15 games. After
Let's not
being
do
shit for 15 years, 15 games. I'm
games.
sorry, 15 games.
Yeah.
David,
Yeah.
and
Anyway,
if we make top 4,
guys-
the conversation will change again. It'll be
Yeah, it was just
Now,
expected.
you must win you must challenge next year because you've got Conference League. You won, you got Champions League now. What's the excuse? That's
Are you
all we need.
are you gonna you're gonna end the stream now, Mo? You gonna end?
Yes,
Just
Games
before we
of
end,
this.
guys.
the
just
stream's
wanna say,
over. Like
Make
stream's
sure you guys
over.
are
Like, is
liking
there
this,
any?
guys are sharing Forza Inter for tonight. And just so everyone knows, just quick trivia for people in the chat. Gabriel Heinze and Teddy Sheringham have more individual awards than Paul Scholes. Big up everyone, like and subscribe, and the stream.
No. Big up you. No, big up
End
Barca.
the stream.
Big up
End the
Lamine.
stream.
I'm riding with Lamine.
Yeah, I want
Yeah.
Barca.
Hey,
Come
Mo,
on,
talk
Barca.
about your game, man.
I'm
Big up
riding
Paul
with
Scholes,
Yeah,
Lamine.
most
exactly.
overrated
Mo,
player
give
in
us an
Premier
insight on
League.
the game, G.
Jimmy Murphy,
We-
young player of the
we-
year. In
We will win again. against
Drogba is one of the
Liverpool.
most overrated strikers. Though.
All I have to
100%.
tell you,
I
Chef,
knew
is
there was
that
going to be Chelsea slander somewhere. I was waiting for it. I thought Husam was going to throw it with the guard of honor, and I was waiting for someone. And
No,
Ashraf
listen,
did.
for me, my favorite moment in the whole game was when Liverpool fans started screaming champions at Lavia. He took it like a
He
man.
laughed
I
back,
like
though. He took it.
I
yeah, he
like
took it.
that whole interaction.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love shithousery in football. I love stuff like this. And
He
I
was
love the
laughing,
fact
you
the
know,
way
he
he
was like, yeah,
interacted.
whatever. That's kind of. I was
Yeah.
No,
He
no.
clapped
By the
back.
way, is Lautaro fit tonight?
yeah, the starting lineup just
Yeah.
came up.
I'm just saying. I'm still waiting to see that man play one good game of football. I ain't seen it yet.
He played very good too. He played amazing
Against
2
Bayern.
games against Bayern.
I didn't watch
Yeah.
the buying games.
It doesn't matter
Oh,
though,
he-
David, because
he was
Mo,
amazing.
Mo thinks Nunes is better than Lautaro.
Who's
You
everyone
will-
want to win? I guess you guys want Barca to win because I'm Mo, right?
Say that again.
Well, who does everyone want to win to see go through to the final?
I want
Because I
Barca
don't
to go through. If Arsenal go for me, like from an Arsenal perspective, I'd rather play Inter Milan than Barca in the final. But if Arsenal,
why
do you want
I'd rather
Barcelona?
Barca win it.
So why do you want Barcelona to win then?
No, I'm
It
saying
doesn't
if
make any-
Arsenal go through, I'd
Is
rather
that
play Inter
because
Milan.
you don't
but-
trust your team to win against PSG? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
should
look,
be
I
surprised
Can we
cannot.
not
again.
start the whole fucking fight an hour before the game now?
Yeah, I cannot watch the
Can
game.
you do
thinking-
your
Doesn't
job
make any
first?
sense, man.
Do your job. Do your job, Mr. Inter Milan, and talk later.
We will
Actually,
win.
Ashraf, I'm not going to speak to you probably. What do you think about the PSG game tomorrow?
I saw Dembele is fit. Enrique confirmed it today. I think that's a problematic thing. If he was out, I think we would have had a better chance. I think we'll draw. I don't think we'll go through, to be honest. I think we draw the game, and obviously we get knocked out.
Really? I think there will be a winner
yeah.
because Arsenal will throw everything at PSG. To be honest,
It's their
I
last
think
chance,
it's-
man.
Yeah, I think there will be
Arguably the biggest
a
game of their process. You could argue.
It's
So.
the biggest game of their process. It has to be.
It is, yeah, of course it is.
I said FA Cup final. That was too early, but
No.
yeah, probably this one.
It's definitely this one. Yeah.
This one here. And
that's why I feel like it'll go through because I think the players will just give everything. That could be enough.
Well, I'm saying they just got
honestly losing to Bournemouth as shitty as it was actually might help a little bit now. Let's see, hopefully.
Yeah, because they have that taste of losing and how much they don't like it. And there's a game before an ultimate game. But what I'm thinking is, Ashraf, it's just the way that if the quality difference, the game panned out how you would expect it the first 20, but people forget after that first 25 minutes initially, Arsenal did go into the game. They did have their chances. So did PSG.
We took over a little bit after.
But if you have the extra added quality of this is our last chance saloon, this is it, with the fact that Arsenal have quality anyway, that's why I'm a bit confused why people can't see Arsenal winning. I think.
No, but do you want me to tell you honestly? If Odegaard is not having a good game, if Odegaard's having a shit game, Arsenal are not gonna have a good game. Odegaard needs to at least have a decent game. Like he needs to have at least, like, I'm not saying he needs to have a world-class game, but at least like against Real Madrid, who just fucking connecting his passes. Bro, he completed only 24 passes in 90 minutes against fucking PSG. How was a Mitchell that completed only 24 minutes?
So that's what I'm thinking. If it
can't he cannot get worse. Yeah.
Oh, it can. It can.
Guys, you were literally playing with 10 men with Odegaard in the middle.
He can only complete 23 passes in one game. That can happen.
Look, the biggest reassurance we have is outside Gabriel.
Completed only 24 passes. It's fucking weird. Like, I've never seen this. A conductor only 24 passes. The wingers completed more passes than him, bro.
Yeah.
Conductor.
Outside Gabriel, everyone else is fit. So I think that at least gives us some. Who gives a shit? Moreno's way better. But I don't know. Don't talk to me about Havertz again. It's the same fraud that came to me this summer. And when I told him Timber is a better football than Havertz, he started laughing. He's like, Timber, better footballer than Havertz, bro.
What have you watched him, bro? What have you watched him?
I hate Havertz. The 6 games of Arsenal was enough for me to say.
Hate is a strong word, you know.
I'm telling you,
okay. Hate is needed in football. Hate is needed in football. It's okay. He doesn't know him personally to hate him, but the guy's a smug.
Yeah, I don't hate him on a personal level.
The guy is literally a smug.
I told him to get a challenge hands last year with the goals against
He's a smug, bro.
You know?
No, I think he probably cost us.
Ashraf, no?
And also,
I think he cost us.
He's a dirty player. Goes for bodies. Goes for ankles. Goes to like underneath players. Like
UCLs.
I mean, that's a lot of people. Van Dijk does that as well. Who cares? Like that. That part I don't care.
UCL and he gave me 65 million back. Love for your service, bro.
If Arsenal win the Champions League, a £50 super chat on me. Okay, thank you, Abdelhadi. We'll see.
Abdelhadi, if Arsenal win a Champions League, you need to super chat more like £200. Come on, bro.
But if Arsenal win the Champions League,
Arsenal won the Champions League.
JJ Ash promised me he's gonna super chat 200 on Ahwa if they beat PSG. تخيل.
Oh right, damn.
I'm not supporting.
If Arsenal win the Champions League, it trumps Liverpool's league.
Come on,
I don't know why Sam's shaking his hands. Like that.
No, but Husam admitted that. Husam said that.
He admits it, yeah.
He definitely had a better season. If Arsenal fucking win the Champions League, it definitely had a better season.
Yeah, 100%.
Bro, why?
People don't know
why
that.
you guys,
like that. That's not even an edgy thing.
I hate people who like to be just edgy for no reason. If you win the fucking Champions League, you've had a better season than everyone. That's the whole point.
You see how you nibbled? I did that on.
When you won the Champions League in 2012 and finished 6th, you had a better season than Man United, who won the league. Who gives a fuck, bro? It's reality.
Champions League, guys. You guys do.
By the way, in 05,
Man City, not
Liverpool finished 5th, but we won the Champions League. Our success superseded even your 15 goals conceded season. It's a reality, whether you like it or not. Champions League is the competition in football. It is the competition.
No, it is.
People act like the league is more important. When you win the fucking Champions League, it's a pinnacle of football.
Yeah, it feels different.
Yeah, bro. Like,
oh wait, but everyone else, it feels.
Shut up, Tess. Shut up.
Wow.
Hey, you did
shut up, man.
Let's go, people. We'll see you on the other side. I'll see you on the watch along. Sam's also doing a watch along. I'll see you guys there. We're out of here, people.